scientists whose fast, thorough review and relentless commitment made this groundbreaking milestone a reality. The authorization is for adults with metastatic pancreatic cancer that either did not respond to at least one prior treatment or could not receive certain combination drug therapies. A 48-year-old man has become the first patient in the world to have a brain tumor removed while medical teams utilized real-time artificial intelligence during surgery, according to Britain's Independent. Surgeons at the National Hospital for Neurology and Neurosurgery, part of University College London Hospital's NHS Foundation Trust, operated on Rise Hibbert using novel technology, which helps identify minuscule brain anatomy by color coding or segmenting crucial structures to help clinicians recognize them safely. I'm Janet Huxley for The Mike Church Show and the Red, White, and Dude Nation, because ethics in broadcasting matters.
When most people hear the word coffee, they conjure up visions of a ceramic mug in the palm of both hands and a woman slowly sipping. This isn't a Folgers commercial. It's for Cappuccino Holy Roast, and here's how I take mine. With a dash of vanilla, a pinch of cinnamon, a spoonful of honey, and lots of heavy cream. Add some ice, shake, and then enjoy, while knowing that's $6 the libs at Starbucks can't spend to ruin my life and yours.
Cappuccino Holy Roast in whole bean or grind is available at shop.mychurch.com.
What's your idea of an oasis of sanity? As things go more insane in this messed up world, maybe it's time you consider that question. Join us in Richmond, New Hampshire this October 9th and 10th for St. Benedict Center's annual conference. Our theme will be Oases of Sanity in the 21st Century. This is Brother Andre Marie of Reconquest. Join Charles Colomb, Commander John Sharp, C.J. Doyle, Jeb Smith, Sisters Maria Philomena, Anne-Marie Gabrielle, and me for thoughtful discussion and fortifying Catholic camaraderie. Go to catholicism.org/conference, catholicism.org/conference.
I'm pretty sure what's killing the crops is this Brondo stuff.
The Brondo's got what plants crave. It's got electrolytes.
So wait a minute. What you're saying is that you want us to put water on the crops?
Yes.
Water? Like out the toilet?
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be out of the toilet, but yeah, that's the idea.
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
Okay, look, the plants aren't growing, so I'm pretty sure that the Brondo's not working. Now, I'm no botanist, but I do know that if you put water on plants, they grow.
Well, I've never seen no plants grow out of no toilet.
Hey, that's good. You sure you ain't the smartest guy in the world?
Yeah.
Okay, look, you want to solve this problem. I want to get my pardon, so why don't we just try it, okay? And not worry about what plants crave.
Brondo's got what plants crave.
Yeah, it's got electrolytes.
What are electrolytes? Do you even know?
It's what they use to make Brondo.
Yeah, but why do they use them to make Brondo?
Because Brondo's got electrolytes.
I just blurted out of habit. We're go, Flood. Chatroom, go. YouTube, go. Pride Book, go. Our troubles are over, dude. Trump renamed Lake Ontario. Your pockets are gonna just filled with cash now. It is a free phone Friday. The Mike Church Show, America's Morning Show here on the Ethics and Broadcasting Network is live, asking the question of the day.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
Well, I'll tell you.
Oh, and remember, Friday is Hawaiian Shirt Day. So, if you want to, go ahead and wear a Hawaiian shirt and jeans.
It's free phone.
That is.
It's free phone.
Yes, it is free phone Friday. Today you are charged with the task of telling us what it is we shall talk about here on the program. This is a live call-in radio, television talk show. The telephone number to take me up on the kind and benevolent offer of the use of these radio and video airwaves. 844-527-8723, coming to you live from the Capuchin Holy Roast Coffee Studios here on a free phone Friday. Crusader Stadium Chatroom is open for your commentary at crusadechannel.com. And we are broadcasting live across America across the world. The Ethics and Broadcasting Network and on great radio stations like 1010 AM, The King in Atlanta, 990 AM, WGSO in New Orleans, on YouTube today, on the Crusade Channel app at crusadechannel.com/app. So, the Lindsay Clancy case is in the hands of the jury. 9 women on that jury. What do you think is going to happen? There are so many things that I learned during the course of this trial that I did not know going in about just how methodically evil this witch is. Sending her husband on multiple errands to make sure he couldn't get back to that house to stop her from murdering those kids. It's just, you hear this story and you just wonder, especially if you've ever raised children and if you've ever held children, how it is possible that you could do this. And I keep coming to the same conclusion that, the demons are involved. Or a demon. And they're celebrating right now because 3 lives are gone, although those babies were, I think they were baptized. I think Father Bob said that he baptized them. So pray God that they wound up on the good side of eternity. But this is jury's going to come back. And if they let this witch off with the insanity plea, then I think that all Hades should break loose. We'll talk about it as the program unfolds today. Folks, is your life going to be made better now that Lake Ontario is supposedly named Lake Murica? This has now just become a ridiculous farce. What next? Are we going to change the name of Canadian geese to American geese because they fly over the U.S. to get to Mexico every winter? Some of them don't make it to Mexico. Some of them stop here in Louisiana. Can we call them Louisiana geese? I've decided we're going to, with this executive order, I'm renaming the Canadian geese. They're not Canadian anymore. They're Louisianan geese. Don't you think that sounds good, Scott? Let's rename them Canadian geese. Today is the 6-month anniversary of the war in Iran. that was only supposed to last, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks. Doesn't seem to be any effort whatsoever. Is there any negotiation going on to bring this thing to an end? Is the troops ever going to be recalled from the Persian Gulf? Is the Strait of Hormuz ever going to reopen again fully? Or are we just going to stay there perpetually for the next 40 years and claim that we own it? By the way, while he was busy in his spare time, in between renaming lakes and ducks, in between renaming lakes and birds, Trump took to social media to post a chart of his ranking of presidents. And of course, at the top of the chart is him, under the title Greatest. Then under that, there is the ranking of great. Guess who's not on the list?
Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan is not on the great list. He didn't make the cut. But look at who is on the great list. I think you're getting a snapshot now of why Trump is acting the way he's acting. He gives great to Lincoln, great to Franklin Delano Obama Roosevelt, and great to Woodrow Wilson. Oh my Lord! Yeah, he threw Andrew Jackson and Jefferson and Washington in there too, but 3. Okay, let's go over this. Lincoln was a communist tyrant.
Yep.
Old dishonest Abe, I have resisted the urge, and it has happened several times in the last couple of years, where Trump has said something positive about Lincoln, and about he kept the Union. He was the great Abraham Lincoln, the great Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln should be remembered as a man who started a war that killed an estimated 843,000 Americans, including about a third of every living male in the southern United States. This is never talked about, that the Union Army, now they suffered casualties too, but that the Union Army basically snuffed the lives out of about 1/3 of every male that was alive in the 13 Confederate states. You still a fan of that thing they call the Civil War? We had to go to war. We had to preserve the Union and end slavery. The war did not end slavery, stupid. The 13th Amendment ended slavery. The war had nothing to do with it. You could have gotten the 13th Amendment without the war. This is Lincoln's. This is old dishonest Abe's doing. It is now being said that Lincoln was actually reading Marx and Engels. And I think that's some recent scholarship here. In any event, whether he was reading them or not, he was acting like a Marxist. So Trump puts Lincoln at the top of his list over Washington. See, are you starting to think that now that we were, in the words of a character that I created for radio back in 1992, Senator Louisiana, in the words of Senator Louisiana, we were hornswoggled. Of course, Senator Louisiana is based on the Foghorn Leghorn character, was based on a Louisiana Hayride radio character called Senator Claghorn. Look it up. We was hornswoggled. Were we hornswoggled by Trump? Further away we get from November of 2024, the more I think we were hornswoggled. In any event, he put Lincoln over Washington. Then he put Roosevelt and Wilson over Jefferson. What was Roosevelt's primary accomplishment? Being elected to 4 terms and causing the 23rd Amendment to go into effect. That's one thing. Presiding over and prolonging the Great Depression. That's a second thing. Presiding over and demanding the creation of the social welfare state and the institution of this ghastly, monstrous beast that we call FICA today. You call it Social Security. The act that brought it about, basically, the act was called FICA, Federal Income Contributions Act. Note the C word, contribution, contribute. Doesn't contribute kind of imply? Could you hand me the log, please? I printed it out. Doesn't contribute kind of imply that you volunteered? If you contribute something, it sounds like something that you did, that you decided to do. Well, I didn't decide to do Social Security. They made me do it. How many of you people would have gone to the Social Security office and go, hey, I'm 18, can you sign me up? Please, pick me, I want to go next. What else is Roosevelt's signature accomplishment? Well, we lionize people today that fought in World War II, and I don't wish to revisit that because those boys did what they were told. They were young patriots, and they did what they were told. Some of them even enlisted, and they were told that World War II was that the war in the European theater was all about preserving democracy. Yeah, look how that turned out. And so many of them were enlisted. They didn't have to be drafted. There was a draft, and there were many conscientious objectors. But at the end of the day, I forget how many hundreds of thousands of American young men lost their lives in the European theater in World War II. I forget the number. Maybe Maggie, the greatest radio producer in the history of radio producers, give me the casualty totals for World War II. Lost their lives in the Pacific Theater. Now, the Pacific Theater was entirely Roosevelt's fault. He knew that the Japanese were planning the assault on Pearl Harbor. He had prior knowledge of it days before it ever happened. He did nothing about it because he thought that it would begin a war, number one, and number two. Pat Buchanan wrote a book about this, by the way. Civilian total deaths. No, I want American casualties. Not total deaths. I know there were 75 to 80. How many American boys? My point is that Trump puts him at the top of the list. What is Roosevelt's signature accomplishment? Well, I gave you the FICA, and then you get all the ABC agencies, the SEC, the FTC. There's some of them that aren't around any longer. The WPA, Works Progress Administration, crap like that. But you also get war deaths. $407,316 American boys were killed in World War II. So that's about Lincoln's output. That's about approximately how many Union soldiers died in World War or in the Civil War. So Trump puts him at the top of his list over Thomas Jefferson. And then he puts Woodrow Wilson on there. You know what Woodrow Wilson's signal accomplishments were? The Sedition Act of 1917, the creation of the Federal Reserve, the signing or the implementation of the income tax, the end of the states choosing senators under the 17th Amendment. Oh my Lord, there are so many things that happened under Wilson's terms. What about World War I? Where American boys are sent to the Maginot Line to go fight and die in a war that they had we had absolutely nothing to do with. That's another thing. What else did Wilson do? Wilson was quietly working behind the scenes. he would tell anyone that would listen to him, the people in his cabinet, certainly the inner circle of Woodrow Wilson knew, that he was not a fan or defender or promoter of the Founding Fathers. He only took the oath to protect and defend the Constitution because he had to, and he didn't very much care for the document, and he was working behind the scenes to try to bring it to an end. And this is another one that Trump puts above, he puts on the top of the list, and there's no Ronald Reagan on this level. We'll talk about it more as the program gets underway. This portion of the show brought to you today by our friends at Revelation Gold Group. Revelation Gold Group, the official precious metal supplier of the Mike Church Show and the Red, White, and Dude Nation. Find them hiding in plain sight today. If you're looking to buy gold or silver and you're currently doing it, give our vendor a try, our sponsor of this show. Go to mikechurch.com/gold. What else do we have in the pile of prep here today? Let's see. Oh, there's a new movie out called One Night Only. Now, I'm not going to review it because I haven't seen it. But after having read a review on it, I think I want to go see it. It is basically, it's a futuristic tale, America, where a law has been passed, an act has been passed, outlawing premarital sex. And then to enforce the law, biometric chips are mandatory implanted into unmarrieds. If the chip senses that you got a heightened level of hormones, I'll tell you all about it. Basically, the movie is asking the question, what would happen if we went back to telling young people that you can't have premarital sex? And that we're going to drum you out of polite society. You know, the book, the Scarlet A, is written about adultery. There was prior to this modern feminist wacko age of ours, there was prior that premarital sex was a no-no, was a taboo. You didn't do it. I'm not saying it didn't happen, because of course it did. So you get shotgun weddings. But what would happen if it were made so that that it was basically returned to where it was, but instead of the moral law making it kind of illegal, you would actually have the actual law make it kind of illegal? Well, this is funny because according to the film, and I've read 2 reviews of it now, according to the film, good things might actually happen, might come of that. Can you imagine that? And again, the movie's called One Night Only. Let's see. What else do we have here today? Well, there's plenty of stuff to talk about. Why did the Secretary, why did Ratcliffe fly to Moscow this week? I think we know that the Russians are tired of this war with the Ukrainians, and they've come to the conclusion that the Ukrainians are just like Trump with the Iranians, are never going to bring it to an end. There's never going to be a peace negotiation. There's never going to be a treaty. The only way you're going to bring it to an end is a full-scale invasion of Ukraine, and you're going to have to march into Kiev and take the capital city, basically, and hunt Zelensky down. And you're going to have to take it over. That's the conclusion the Russians have come to. Folks, our August crowdfunding is in serious jeopardy and danger of not being met. CrusadeChannel.com/donate. So I sent another email out last night, got
0.0.
Like Maggie's been saying, you know what, it was a good run. But you can donate today. So you're saying there's still a chance? Yes, there is.
It's not tape or a Post-it or a candy bar, but this new 3M
is the freshest spin on true crime shows since dinosaurs were solving cold cases with fossil evidence. Yeah, It's that original, folks.
Mom's Murders and Mysteries. New episodes debut every Tuesday night, 6:30 East, 4 West, exclusively on the Crusade channel. Live talk podcast radio, the way it should be.
Hey, it's time for another Cooking with the King Dude Backyard Barbecue Beast Mode tip. Pour 1/2 cup beast and butt rub into 1/2 cup brown sugar. Combine the two thoroughly and then put that into a shaker. Now you have the sweetest and spiciest barbecue seasoning on the market. So your wife, who loves sweet, and your Uncle Bobo, who loves butt-kicking spicy, are both satisfied with your barbecue, and to them, you are a beast and butt rub Beast Mode champion. Get more of my Backyard Barbecue Beast Mode tips and your beast and butt rub today at shop.mikechurch.com. In 1983, ZZ Top made the song Crazy About a Shark Dressed Man. And it was true from the time that song came out till around 2010, when girls stopped going crazy over a sharp-dressed man because men stopped dressing sharply. Cargo shorts, flip-flops, and tank tops became all the rage for men's public casual wear, to say nothing of how they dressed for mass. Well, as my listeners and viewers know, there's hardly anything more important to me than being a sharp-dressed man. And to help you become one, I'm introducing the official necktie of the Mike Church Show, Proselytize, whose designs are not only striking, they're 100% Catholic. You will look fantastic and like a sharp-dressed Catholic man in your Proselytize neckties. Available now in the Mike Church Show haberdashery at shop.mikechurch.com. Shop for ties, caps, t-shirts, and much more in the Mike Church Show haberdashery at shop.mikechurch.com.
Hello, Crusaders. This is Sister Maria Filomena. Is your home an oasis of sanity? Where do you find peace? Join us in Richmond, New Hampshire this October 9th and 10th for our annual conference as we consider Oases of Sanity in the 21st Century. Connect with Mike Church, Charles Coulombe, Brother Andre Marie, Commander John Sharp, C.J. Doyle, Jeb Smith, Sister Marie Gabrielle, and myself for thoughtful discussion and fortifying Catholic camaraderie at St. Benedict Center. Register now by going to Catholicism.org/conference. That's Catholicism.org/conference.
Hey, it's the King Dude. You know, I've spent my life and career in broadcasting building relationships with listeners and relationships with clients. And I'm here to tell you that it's rare that I find an advertising client that specializes in building those very same relationships with my listeners. Now, this client deals in one of the most important items you can currently buy. That's why I'm happy and proud to introduce Revelation Gold Group as the official precious metal supplier to the Mike Church Show and the Red, White, and Dude Nation. You have a choice in what to listen to and have a choice in where to buy your precious metals. Well, you've chosen the right radio show. Now, choose the right precious metal supplier and go with Revelation Gold Group at mikechurch.com/gold. Start building a precious metal relationship that benefits you and your family for many, many years to come with Revelation Gold Group at mikechurch.com/gold.
You want your favorite talk show shaken.
Do you expect me to talk?
Not stirred.
No, Mr. Bunt, I expect you to die.
The Mike Church Show bar is serving mega martinis with non-DEI vermouth and a red, white, and Dude Nation olive. And it's always happy hour.
Maybe we do, son. Don't think you have a corner on all of virtue vision in the country, or that everybody else is fat and selfish and you're the first generation to come along that's felt dissatisfied. They all have, you know, about different things, and most of them didn't have the same opportunity and freedoms that you do. The fact is, more people are living better right here than anywhere else ever before in history. So don't expect us to roll over and play dead when you say you're dissatisfied.
You're taller, stronger, healthier, better educated, and you live longer than the last generation. And we don't think that's altogether bad. We've done quite a bit of fighting all around the world. Whether you think it was moral or not, a lot of people are free today to make their own mistakes because of it. And that may just include you.
I don't know. Maybe part of it's the fact that you're in a hurry. But some problems you can't get quick answers to, no matter how much you want them. Show me how to get rid of the unlimited capacity for human beings to make themselves believe that they're somehow right and justified in stealing from somebody.
I don't think that we're telling you to lose your ideals or your sense of outrage. They're the only way things ever get done. And there's a lot that still needs doing. And we hope you'll tackle it. You don't have anything dramatic like trying to come up with a better country. You can find enough to keep you busy right here. While you're at it, don't break things up in the name of progress or crack a placard stick over somebody's head to help him see the light. Be careful of his rights. Because your property and your person and your rights aren't any better than his. And next time you may be the one to get it. We remember a man who killed 6 million people and called it social improvement.
So hang in. Don't try to build a new country. Make the old one work. It has for over 400 years.
Mark! Ow! How you doing? Marcus Tullius Meridius Maximus Augustine. Today is the feast of the great doctor of the Catholic Church, St. Augustine, my confirmation saint, my patron saint. We could spend an entire show talking about St. Augustine. Here on the Ethics and Broadcasting Network's portion of the program brought to you by Cooking with the KingDude. So another weekend, late in the summer, in August here. Are you prepared? Do you have your beast and butt rub, chicken mamu, and Acadiana steak seasoning? If you do not, go to then shop.mikechurch.com and get you a bottle or 16 today. Shop.mikechurch.com comes with a money-back guarantee. You know, if you're going to do a pork butt this weekend, or some people call it a picnic roast, make sure the bone's in. I'm going to give you a beast mode tip here. You can't get good pulled pork out of a boneless hog shoulder. It won't work. Don't ask me how I know that, because I do know it. So make sure you get bone in, and then you're going to thoroughly coat that joker with some mustard oil and olive oil concoction, and then you're going to soak it in beast and butt rub. About a half a bottle ought to do the trick. That's going to help you form what's called the bark, and then your pulled pork is going to be the best anyone's ever had. So get you a bottle of beast and butt rub today, and you can also use it on your spare ribs or your St. Louis style ribs or your baby back. Give me my baby back ribs. It's so versatile and so good. People use it on popcorn. Beast and butt rub, chicken mamu, and Acadiana steak seasoning at shop.mikechurch.com. You know, I found this old clip. Probably about a month ago. It was Paul Newman, the actor, who appeared on the Phil Donahue Show in 1983. And this was shortly after the, I forget which airline company it was, but it was shortly after a civilian commercial airliner was shot down by the Israelis. And Newman went on Phil Donahue, and the subject came up. And Newman just unloaded his thoughts on Israel, the government of Israel, and what they were currently doing at the time. This is in 1983. 1983. You can find it on, I'm going to play it for you later in the show, but you can find it on my X. Follow me at the KingDude. Maggie was just looking at a little blurb on X, speaking of showing the percentage of people who were killed by the Nazis. My name is Lieutenant Aldo Raines. I'm here to get Nazi scalps. You will give me my Nazi scalps, said Brad Pitt and Glorious Bastards. Get this. Is this a new book? Or is this an older book? Older book. Okay. There's a book that was published that gave the statistics by religion of who the Nazis killed in Auschwitz. Did you know that 46% of the people killed in Auschwitz were Catholics? Now, many people are going to go, what? Are you, Raggy? Well, this kind of makes sense because this is where St. Maximilian Kolbe was killed, in Auschwitz. 46% of those tallied up that were by religion that were killed by the Nazis at Auschwitz were Catholic. Guess what the percentage of Jews was that were killed by the Nazis tallied up at Auschwitz? 42%. I'm not going to do a monologue on this. I'm just passing the info along that I found that to be, because I looked at it, I went, it's interesting. And then somebody asked Grok to verify it, and Grok says, no, the statistic is true. Then, of course, Lara Loomer and all the usual suspects pile on underneath saying, well, that's because they were killed when they got off the trains. So I don't know. I find some of these historical things, like we were talking last segment with Trump and his choice of presidents. Folks, it's even worse than I thought. I don't know how that's possible, but it is worse than I thought. Okay, his list he ranks the presidents himself as the greatest. Great: Lincoln, Washington, Roosevelt, Wilson, Jefferson, and the not Reverend Jackson, the Andrew Jackson. Near great: Teddy Roosevelt, Grover Cleveland, John Adams, James K. Polk. Now, you know, because I've done this show before, and we've done it with Brian McClanahan in a couple of years, that we would put Grover Cleveland in the top tier. Is one of the best. He, in his second term, he vetoed 443 bills. He refused to go along with the expansion of the Constitution. They were already rattling sabers about an income tax, and he was telling them no. He upheld the tariff system as the primary source for American revenue. He was just a good president, Grover Cleveland. So he'd be at the top of the list. So Trump has him as near great. Then under average, he has under average Franklin Pierce. Now, this just tells me that he's a historical ignoramus. Franklin Pierce would also be on my top 5 list. Pierce was, he had a bunch of vetoes too. And Franklin Pierce resisted, there were many things that the Congress, that the Henry Clay Congress was trying to do, that they would send to the desk of Franklin Pierce, and he'd veto it. Including, we would have had a system of Medicare, basically, or Medicaid for crazy people in 1843 if it weren't for Franklin Pierce. Because he vetoed the bill, and it passed by a wide majority in the House of Representatives, and Pierce vetoed it. He also has under average, he has James Madison under average. And again, I would put Madison up there near, Madison was a great president, a very good president. He has Bill Clinton on the average list. Well, I appreciate that, Donald. You and I have traveled in that same Epstein circle with them young girls. Wait a minute, I didn't mean to say that. You got to forgive me, man. Below average is John Tyler. John Tyler was basically a founding father. John Tyler was 15 years old when Patrick Henry gave the Liberty or Death speech at St. John's Church in Richmond, Virginia, in 1774. John Tyler was a boy. Watched the whole thing from the outside through the window. Grew up. He was basically one of the Randolphs by marriage. John Tyler. John Tyler was the last of the great Virginians who were president. So Washington, Jefferson, Madison, Monroe, Tyler. So John Tyler was basically a founding father. He was young. He was a boy, so he couldn't sign the Declaration. He couldn't sign the Constitution. But he grew up in their shadow, and he admired them. I mean, who wouldn't? So why is Tyler down as a below average? He has cool Cal Coolidge. That's below average. And again, it just suggests to me that he's historically stupid. He's ignorant. Ignorant. He has Leonard Fillmore. Fillmore wasn't bad, wasn't great. I'd put him at average. He has President Taylor. He has Buchanan. And then again, Pierce has the average. Now, failures, he has Ulysses S. Grant as a failure. Now, I'm not going to sing the praises of Grant. You know, there are some Republicans, the ones that love Lincoln, that sing the praises of Grant. Why would you have Grant as a failure and Lincoln as a great? There's pretty much not much difference between Lincoln and Grant. Grant's signature achievement was the enforcement of what they called Reconstruction against the people of the South. So in any event, I just think that this is just, when they were putting the AI videos out that they were creating last year, the men that signed the Declaration of Independence, I don't know that they ever finished it. But when they were putting those videos, my name is Button Gwinnett, and I am a signer of the Declaration of Independence. I thought that there was some historical accuracy in the Trump regime, and I don't think so any longer. I mean, the whole thing just seems to me like it's just caving in on itself. Glenn Greenwald makes the point. Does this guy really think that renaming lakes is going to win back MAGA defectors? Does he really think that this really makes America great again? And by the way, what are the Canadians going to call it? Is the rest of the world bound to Trump's ego? I don't know what that is. We got a gremlin in here that's squealing?
It's like something is pinging.
Pinging? Well, it's not my phone. It's not that the MacBook.
My phone's not even in here.
All right, hold on. Be silent for a minute. Folks, we have an intruder. Hold on.
No, it's not true.
It's an intruder alert. All right. Okay, 844-527-8723, our call-in line telephone number. All right, there's this. What did you do for your YouBoob super chat?
10 super chats.
You did 10 super chatters today, and you got 2 already. I'm sure. Got 3 already, and I am assuming that the Red, White, and Dude Nation is just by and large, walked away from us because I got this many responses to my email last night.
0.0.
And Maggie is sending me, hold on, let me read some names here. All right, Elizabeth Wigington, thank you. Miss Elizabeth, I think that she donates every day because I see her name every day. Thank you. CrusadeChannel.com/donate. You got Okay, well, my sister put $5 up, and then you got Jeff Johnson. Okay, thank you, Jeff. And then you have Nancy Brace. So you have your 3 regulars, all 3. Thank you very much. Put up Brian Davison. Thank you with your contribution, and then Dave Fender, who pretty much puts a. So you're seeing pretty much there's like 10 people that donate every day. If we could just get a small percentage of everyone else, CrusadeChannel.com/donate. Okay. The real reason young families can't find homes to buy, according to the Epoch Times. Let's see. Trump administration officials recently floated cutting the capital gains tax on home sales. I just have to pause right here and go like, why is there a capital gains tax on selling your home? It's yours. Whose idea was it to tax my property that I improved? You didn't do it. I did it. And then you get a cut? What? Milk of what? Who in the... Yes, of course I knew that the capital gains tax was already there. Of course I did. That didn't mean you had to go along with it. And again, why is there an income tax to begin with? Because it's a control mechanism. It's to make you... I was thinking about this. My accountant... And this is one of the things that I'm trying to clear with this debt. My CPA keeps nagging me to file my 990 for the year. And I keep telling my CPA that because I actually have to physically sit down and do it, unless one of you wants to volunteer to do it, and we work at it every now and then. You should see the requirements of what you have to do to report nonprofit donations and what you did with them. If just that effort, if you could just forego that effort, the Herculean effort that it takes to just file taxes, what would you do with that time if you weren't spending it serving? Because you're basically serving as the government CPA or the government's bookkeeper at that point. And then tax collector. You taxed yourself. What would you do with it? Imagine the amount, and you know what? Back in the 90s, the Wall Street Journal calculated this, because I remember when the Wall Street Journal editorial board was the best editorial board in America. And if you had a subscription to the Wall Street Journal and you was a conservative, you might have looked forward to getting it every day and reading what the editorial board had to say about the issues that were going on in the Clinton administration, for example. But I remember them calculating the drain on American people's productivity and just keeping up with the paperwork needed to file your taxes. In the current federal tax code, homeowners can generally exclude $250,000 in gains when selling their primary residence, or $500,000 for married couples filing jointly. Oh, well, that's a relief. Those thresholds were set nearly 3 decades ago, but home prices have quadrupled since then, especially in communities where young families are struggling most to buy. Imagine a couple who bought a modest home decades ago for $150,000. The kids are grown. The house is now worth $900,000. No, it's not. $900,000. And they'd be perfectly happy to downsize. Selling would free up a family-sized home for the next generation. Who's going to plunk down $1 million? That's a middle class. Good grief. But selling would also leave them with a sizable capital gains tax bill. So why move? No, multiply that decision across millions of homeowners and you get fewer homes for sale in a market already starved for inventory. Congress can help, says the Epic Times. The bipartisan More Homes on the Market Act would double the existing exclusion to $500,000 for individuals and $1 million, and how much? $1 million for married couples. That's exactly the kind of housing policy conservative should embrace. No, the kind of housing policy conservatives should embrace is to not have an income tax and to not have a capital gains tax attached to it. It's a pretty conservative position. Taxes aren't the only thing making it harder for Americans. America's existing housing supply to reach buyers. Increasingly, some homes that are for sale aren't shown to everyone who might want to buy them, and Congress is finally noticing, well, why aren't they being shown? Scott Fitzgerald sent letters to Compass, the country's largest real estate brokerage, and Midwest real estate data. I didn't know this. Which controls nearly all Chicago area home listings and the feeds that send them to public sites. Fitzgerald wanted answers about their plans to take a private home listing network nationwide, which could create a closed information system for homes affecting both consumers and housing affordability. The concern is what happens when private listings become a parallel market that ordinary buyers may never fully see. Now, I'm not a real estate broker, but I do know that you have this thing called the multi-listing service, MLS. I'm pretty sure that the MLS is a public service, isn't it? Compass is working with Midwest to take private listings nationwide. If the biggest player could pull homes away from the public market, competitors will copy the playbook, making private listings the industry's new normal. I don't understand about this public-private. Somebody's going to have to call me and explain to me.
The MLS is not a public service.
So MLS is not, so it is a private service. Well, and that's fine. But why would you want to keep some houses off of the housing market and not show them to people that are potential buyers? I don't understand the logic here. If you're in real estate, don't you want to set, does it matter to you who's currently living in the home that you're trying to sell? I don't understand. Somebody's going to have to explain this to me. An outdated tax rule. Okay, he says, at a moment when America desperately needs more homes available to families, why would we want the homes that are already for sale to become harder to find? You know, I'm going to talk about this topic next hour. The first 2 homes that I bought, I did not have an online connection to find them. You know what I did? I went to this thing called a newspaper. And I read the newspaper homes for sale ads. Can you imagine this? What did we do back in the 80s and 90s if you're looking to buy a home? If you wanted to buy a house, where'd you find it at? Well, you might drive around in the neighborhood you liked. You can always do that. Are we beyond people now like actually seeking out houses to buy because they're relying on some online service to drop it in their oh, good grief. All right, folks. Mike Church Show here on the Ethics of Broadcasting Network. This portion of the program brought to you by the Haberdash Store at shop.mikechurch.com. Don't forget to make your donations during the timeout so I can read your name and you can help us get to our August crowdfunding goal. CrusadeChannel.com/donate.
Some of the best things on earth come in threes.
That's right, Lee. There's the Three Stooges.
And then there's the Cajun cooking trinity of onions, bell peppers, and celery.
And of course, guys, there's the Holy Trinity.
Now, I'm not comparing my Trinity to the Holy Trinity, but I guarantee you, my Trinity of homemade small batch rubs can put a heavenly smile on your taste buds. And all 3 come with my 100% money-back guarantee. If you don't love and think that my Trinity of beast and butt rub, chicken mamu, and Acadiana steak seasoning aren't the best and most essential spices in your arsenal, I'll buy them back from you.
It may not be holy, King Dude, but that's the best spice and rub deal on this side of heaven.
Order Mike Church's set of Trinity rubs and save big at mikechurch.com/rub. That's 1 bottle each of beast and butt rub, chicken mamu lemon herb seasoning, and Acadiana steak seasoning for 1 low price and the King Dude's money back guarantee. Order today at mikechurch.com/rub.
Hello, Crusaders. This is Sister Maria Filomena inviting you to join us in Richmond, New Hampshire this October 9th and 10th for our annual conference as we consider oases of sanity in the 21st century. Connect with Mike Church, Charles Colomb, Brother Andre Marie, Commander John Sharp, CJ Doyle, Jeb Smith, Sister Marie Gabrielle, and myself for thoughtful discussion and fortifying Catholic camaraderie at St. Benedict Center. Register now by going to catholicism.org/conference. catholicism.org/conference.
More news, financial literacy, quality of life, health improvements, Christian ministry, sports, and more. AM 1010, The King.
The Crusade Channel, your talk podcast and Fiorella File station.
Fiorella is the literary savage who skips sensitivity training. She is the librarian who reads and reviews books so you don't have to.
Hello and welcome to the Fiorella Files. On my show, I will be introducing you to books, classic and contemporary, that you must read, should enjoy reading, or should not touch with an 11-foot barge pole.
10 to 11 a.m. Central, every Monday on the Crusade Channel, our app, and always on CrusadeChannel.com. Live talk and podcast radio.
The way it should be.
One of my favorite books is Jim Collins' Good to Great, and lots of people have benefited from reading it, including me. But few people have read his follow-up book, How the Mighty Fall. Now, over the course of the last 18 years, has been quite the feat of survival to avoid becoming one of the fallen, but survive we have. And guess what else survived? The world-famous Dude Number t-shirt, which began in 2007. Now, to kick off the relaunch of this elite membership club, we announced a brand new t-shirt design, a brand new certificate of authenticity, and access to numbers that have only recently become available. Here's Jim to tell you how to secure that Dude Number that's unique and special to you.
Just head to MikeChurch.com/Dude for all things Dude Number, including purchasing your 2026 version of the world-famous Dude Number t-shirt. That's MikeChurch.com/Dude and join America's morning show, The Mike Church Show, and the Red, White, and Dude Nation's elite membership club. That's MikeChurch.com/Dude.
Hello, Crusaders! This is Sister Maria Filomena inviting you to join us in Richmond, New Hampshire this October 9th and 10th for our annual conference as we consider oases of sanity in the 21st century. Connect with Mike Church, Charles Colomb, Brother Andre Marie, Commander John Sharp, C.J. Doyle, Jeb Smith, Sister Marie Gabrielle, and myself for thoughtful discussion and fortifying Catholic camaraderie at St. Benedict Center. Register now by going to Catholicism.org/conference. Catholicism.org/conference.
Do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call. Because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at crazy low prices. They have access to great prices and discounts at over 500 different airlines. Plus 300,000 hotels and rental car companies. Their prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find the best price for you. Call SmartFares today and get ready to see the world with a fat wallet.
800-313-7757. 800-313-7757. 800-313-7757. That's 800-313-7757.
The Mike Church Show, combining the best of the politics from the era of surround sound. With the 2026 revelation that when it comes to politics and scams like MAGA, we're all screwed. But like grape knee-high made with real sugar in a real glass bottle, we make throwback a go-back.
Too bad real women don't come with these, huh?
Come with 500-watt 8-channel discrete amplifiers, THX receiver sold separately.
Hey folks, Mike Church here. You know, when I was a little cheerins', I remember loving the old Dunkin' Donuts TV spot. You know, the one with the guy who got up at 3 a.m. mumbling to himself as he went out the door and then back in his front door.
Time to make the donut.
Well, fast forward 46 years, and now I'm the guy waking up at 3 a.m., mumbling to myself as I go in the studio door, then back out. Time to make the radio. I made the radio. I made the radio. But I have a secret weapon the Dunkin' Donut dude didn't have. Mike Church's Capuchin Holy Roast coffee in whole bean or ground. Our fresh, aromatic, gourmet coffee is made from 100% fair trade beans, freshly imported, roasted by my friend Kyle and his daughter at the Abita Roasting Company, then delivered to you so fresh your kitchen will smell like a barista shop. Good. So, whenever you arise to take on the day and listen to the Mike Church Show, do it the Red, White, and Dude Nation way by brewing up a fresh pot of Capuchin Holy Roast or my all-new Capuchin Holy Roast New Orleans blend coffee and chicory at shop.mikechurch.com. In 1983, ZZ Top made the song crazy about a shark dress man. And it was true from the time that song came out till around 2010, when girls stopped going crazy over a sharp-dressed man because men stopped dressing sharply. Cargo shorts, flip-flops, and tank tops became all the rage for men's public casual wear, to say nothing of how they dressed for mass. Well, as my listeners and viewers know, there's hardly anything more important to me than being a shark dress man. And to help you become one, I'm introducing the official necktie of the Mike Church Show, Proselytize, whose designs are not only striking, they're 100% Catholic. You will look fantastic and like a sharp-dressed Catholic man in your Proselytize neckties. Available now in the Mike Church Show haberdashery at shop.mikechurch.com. Shop for ties, caps, t-shirts, and much more in the Mike Church Show haberdashery at shop.mikechurch.com.
And the City of God are among the most notable of all Catholic teachers. The body of St. Augustine now rests at Pavia in Rome, where his
The Mike Church Show. A lone voice crying out in the wilderness.
What rights do you think you're referring to?
Rights, like in that official paper that they wrote down the street there?
That's the Bill of Rights.
Yeah, the Bill of Rights. Don't it say something about going after what makes you happy?
No, that's the pursuit of happiness. But what's your point?
My point is I'm pursuing something and nobody looks too happy about it.
He's defending your pursuit of the right to happiness by way of the truth since Rocky IV.
Who's got the right to tell you that? Who? Nobody.
The Mike Church Show is heard exclusively on the Crusade channel.
I do feel, Reg, that any anti-imperialist group like ours must reflect such a divergence of interest within its power base.
Agreed. Francis? Yeah, I think Judith's point of view is very valid, Reg, provided the movement never forgets that it is the unalienable right of every man or woman to rid himself or herself. Agreed. Thank you, brother. Or sister. Where was I? I think you finished. Oh, right. Furthermore, it is the birthright of every man or woman. Why don't you shut up about women, Stan? You're putting us off. Women have a perfect right to play a part in our movement, Reg. Why are you always on about women, Stan? I want to be one. What? I want to be a woman. From now on, I want you all to call me Loretta. What? It's my right as a man.
Well, why do you want to be Loretta, Stan?
I want to have babies. You want to have babies? It's every man's right to have babies if he wants them. But you can't have babies. Don't you oppress me. I'm not oppressing you, Stan. You haven't got a womb. Where's the fetus going to gestate? You're going to keep it in a box?
Here, I've got an idea. Suppose you agree that he can't actually have babies, not having a womb, which is nobody's fault, not even the Romans, but that he can have the right to have babies.
Good idea, Judith. We shall fight the oppressors for your right to have babies, brother. Sister, sorry. What's the point? What? What's the point of fighting for his right to have babies when he can't have babies? It is symbolic of our struggle against oppression. Symbolic of his struggle against reality.
Let's do it! You gotta beat the clock, you gotta beat the clock.
I tell you, I never seen dead people chat.
You are my candy girl, and you got me wanting.
Thanks to Mary's Dowry and Gadsden for their donations during the timeout. Still not going to hit that goal during the course of the program today for August crowdfunding for the Crusade Radio Guild. But we're going to give it the old Marion College try. This portion of the program coming to you live from the Revelation Gold Group Studios here in beautiful downtown Madisonville, Louisiana. Good to have all of you with us here. We're rounding out a thrill-packed week of broadcasting here. Revelation Gold Group, you'll go to my custom info page by going to mikechurch.com/gold. Gold! I had a wonderful conversation yesterday with a young couple, Emily and Brendan, who started a wine business. And I asked them, I said, you know the old joke about how to make $1 million in the California wine business, don't you? And they went, no. How do you make $1 million in the California wine business, Mike? Start with $10 million. Sounds like radio to me, actually. It's old. They're branded. We're going to start selling it next week, or being their rep next week. It's Old Norwood. Now, I don't have everything set up yet, so I'm just kind of teasing you that it was a great conversation. This is the second young Catholic couple that I have met this summer. The first was the proselytized couple. And now, so this is my second Brendan that I met this summer. That's decided that there weren't enough Catholic people in business acting all Catholic-y and stuff. And so they decided that they were going to get into the winemaking and the wine distribution business. So again, I'm going to tell you all about it. It's encouraging to see and to meet young people like that are trying to make a difference. And they kept telling me during the course of the conversation that, you know, we really love the brothers and sisters in the orders that our wines are trying to help, because they private label for a couple of monasteries. In any event, we'll start talking about it in earnest on Monday. I just want to pass on the info that it's, and I got some wine from them, so I sampled it before I made the call, and it was very good. And you know that I am a spirits kind of guy. So, it's Old Norwood. I'll be telling you all about it next week. Okay, there's an essay at the Wall Street Journal that is interesting today. The uninvited guest who crashed our family vacation. My mom's AI chatbot. This is by Jamie Waters, and she says, as a millennial who views artificial intelligence with skepticism and dread, imagine my surprise when my septuagenarian parents became obsessed with Claude. It would come as a surprise to me that Fox News, Easy Chair, Lazy Boy, grafted to boomers would become addicted to an AI. But then again, I'm not surprised, because it's easy for them, because they already suffer an addiction. It's called fake Fox News. It's horrible for your health. Do you know? Last time I turned Fox News off it was during the Corona Doom, and I just turned it off. What did we watch for like 2 years? We watched the Weather Channel or something like that. And then I got tired of them yelling at me for not doing enough for global warming. So this time when the Zionist and fake conservative lunatics that run fake Fox News, this time when they went through all in against my friend Thomas Massey, I went, that's it, done, I'm out. Bye, see ya. Bye, Felicia. And I haven't gone back. And I was telling Brendan and Emily yesterday, I'm like, I do news for a living, so I kind of have to have a news source. So I keep it on CNN. And I said, it's an interesting thing, though, because they were like, oh, no, we don't watch Fox News. Oh, that's garbage. I'm like, good, don't do that. You're going to be so much better off later in life when you become the equivalent of a boomer. I said, but I do watch CNN. And they were like, oh, yeah, but CNN's just as bad. I said, but at least when I'm watching CNN is not insulting me and treating me as if I am a septuagenarian pervert that needs to have his women spray tanned and dressed in a cheerleader outfit, basically.
That's the conservative way, Mike.
I know,
Get with the program. That's what conservative women are supposed to look like.
What producer number was that, ma'am? 4. That was Maggie number 4 in the house. And I said, and I said something. I'm like, so I get my headlines from CNN, but I don't ever turn the volume up. It's very rare that I turn the volume up. I turned the volume up yesterday because Trump was in his Oval Office and they were showing a picture of Lake Ontario. And I'm like, this fool is actually going to do this. This is so stupid. So incredibly stupid. And just so egomaniacal. Then he got asked a question about Ted Cruz. Oh, won't you listen to me? I'm the most conservative member the U.S. Senate that there's ever been. I'm thinking about a run for the presidency. He was asked about what he thought about Cruz dropping hints that he was going to run for the presidency. And Trump thought about it for a minute, and then he goes, I don't know. He's a very smart guy. He's very smart. And he's a good really good politician too. I don't know. Yeah, I think he'll do. I think that'll be okay. Actually, this and I almost burst a blood vessel in my brain because I'm thinking like you were actually, Mr. President, the proto birther. Does anyone other than me remember this? That Trump was what they called a birther. What does that mean? That means that he thought that Barack Hussein Obama's birth certificate was fake news. It's fake. And as I pointed out at the time, and no one listens to Mike, but as I pointed out at the time, you don't need the evidence on the birth certificate. It's stupid. What you need is the admission that Barry Soetoro, Obama's father, never became an American citizen. He remained either way, and we don't know. We know he wasn't an American citizen. We think he was a citizen of Kenya. It was either Kenya or Indonesia. You cannot be, only a natural or naturalized citizen can make a natural-born citizen. According to the Founding Fathers and the Constitution of 1788, if you don't like that, then get an amendment and change it. And it's not my fault that that's how they defined natural-born citizen. Ted Cruz is not a natural-born citizen. He isn't. His father was a Canadian. He was born in Canada. There's no one is denying. I'm not even sure that he's eligible to be a U.S. senator. Well, we don't want to get into the details, and I actually have to dot I's and cross T's around this joint, right? So when he starts waxing on about Cruz running for the presidency, and he's okay with it, I'm going like, Trump almost joined the lawsuit in 2011 to stop Obama from getting on the ballot the second time that a judge in Philadelphia tossed out. I'm going to tell you the way this is going to happen. If Cruz tries to run for the presidency, all of us have standing to oppose it and to sue. And to finally get a case into the court system to settle this once and for all. No more Kamala Harris's on the ballot. Not a natural-born citizen, case closed. No more Marco Rubio's. Sorry, not a natural-born citizen. Parents weren't naturalized until little Marco was like 6 or 8. Not an NBC. Ted Lee Cruz, right. Not a natural-born citizen. And then I read something very, very interesting after that. Did you know that in ancient Scotland, you couldn't become the, you basically, well, okay, what do they call it? And it's not king. Well, it's kind of king. But you couldn't become it unless you were third generation Scot-born landowner. Third generation. I think that it's time that we all start to campaign everywhere. You can't be governor of a state unless you are, at the minimum, second generation natural born in that state landowner. This will stop most of these socialist wackos and leftards from even getting on the ballot. You will do more to restore American or Louisiana or New Jersey or Kansas order by that one small move than anything else you could do. Because you're going to make residency and citizenship a premium. I'm going to pull a Steven Crowder with his fake coffee mugs, and I'm going to present my real coffee mug here to you, because this is a real one made by the Montana Mountain Arts Pottery Company. Official Mike Church Show coffee mug. It's a beaut, Clark. It's a beaut. There shouldn't be any of these left. I don't know why we don't sell 10 a week. You're gonna use a coffee mug anyway. You should get mine. Shop.mikechurch.com. I'm gonna pull a Crowder. I'm gonna give him credit for it. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. 844-527-8723. Prove me wrong on the telephones. Thanks to Monty Colangelo, and Maggie is keeping me up to date today. Already saw the Mary's Dower. Monty Colangelo at crusadechannel.com/donate. I appreciate all your efforts. You can also donate if you're watching us on YouTube. It's free today, so you shouldn't get a free show. If you're watching right now, if you're one of the 60 people that's watching, it only takes 6 of you, 10% of you, kick in $5. Tap that dollar symbol down there. Kick in $5 right now. I demand a tip. I don't work for free. I am not a wind-up organ grinder monkey. All right, 844-527-8723, our call-in line telephone number. What does he want? All right, let's go to the telephones. At 844-527-8723. Broadcasting to you live on the Ethics and Broadcasting Network on great radio stations across America like 1010 The King, WXKG in Atlanta. Atlanta, still waiting for that first phone call, first email, first donation. You know, here, we're broadcasting live in Atlanta. Just pretend this is a Star Trek movie, and the title of the movie is First Contact. We are still waiting 2 years in for first contact with a member of the Atlantean species. We're on air in the country and the planet of Atlantia. We've traveled back in time to AM radio types in our search of our first contact with the Atlantean from the species of the Atlanteans. You could email me, KingDude at mikechurch.com. You could. Nobody ever does, but you could. You could call me, 844-527-8723. Yes, Mitter Monday.
Well, sure.
Old farmer.
I'm wounded. Nobody ever emails. You should say most people don't email you.
You.
Well, I do just to annoy you. Does it work?
Yes, it does.
Okay, good. And First Contact was the first Star Trek episode with the Next Generation crew all by themselves, but that's a different story.
Oh, I thought it was called Encounter at Farpoint.
No, that was the first episode of the series, but the first movie that they did after Generations, when they finally killed Kirk off and got him off of there, the first one they did with just that crew.
Oh, that's right. That's
right.
right.
With the
Ephraim, the warp drive dude, Ephraim Cochrane.
Yep, that's him.
Zephram Cochrane.
Zephyr, What is he? Anyway, this is Free Phone Friday, right?
Yes, it is. Darn it.
All right, let's go back yesterday. I just want to expound a little bit on your analogy of the introduction of the automobile and its profound effect on the planet to what AI may do. So I think there's even a little bit deeper that we should look at this. Yeah.
Let me hit the reset button real quick and just like if you're just joining us and you didn't hear yesterday's program, what he's talking about is I said that we ought to have laws put in place for AI. And don't let the AI write the rules. We ought to treat AI like it's the automobile at the start of the 20th century and then tell the automakers, no, you can't do that, but you can do this. This is where we're going to allow this automobile thing to go, what it can do, what side of the street it's got to do its business on, et cetera, et cetera. We should do the same thing for AI is what he's talking about. Okay, now go.
Okay, yeah. And yeah, another thing I study a bit of, and people don't seem to realize when people actually did get cars as unreliable as they were, and they're saying, hey, we're going out into the country. There were no good roads. They're going down cow paths. There were no maps.
That's right.
There was no street signs. You got lost. You might have come across a farmer and said, well, yeah, you go down there where that oak tree is. It was that, that wild, wild west. And people don't realize, perhaps, that there was a time when this started, and people who were all making carriages, well, we got to stay in business. They tried to make cars. There was over 2,000 makes of cars.
Really?
Between about 1890 and 1910 as they started to fall off. Well, hey, I'm making a buggy, and nobody wants it anymore. So, you got to do something or retire. Many survived, many folded into others. They eventually got to the big four and then the big three that some of us know today. Who knows? Now, Chrysler, Stellantis, you lose track of it.
Right.
However, what cut through that in the early 20th century was Henry Ford and the Model T, where it eventually reached the point. I'm not thinking about what's going to happen. Well, all these AI companies, we got China, we got Russia, everybody's making this stuff. Somebody cut through, ended up making a vehicle. Not only could he make them fast and cheap, but there's other things he did that made them able to. There was a time in the late around 1920 where 75% of the cars on the planet were Fords.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, not in other countries too. I mean, we made 15 million of them. Well, now I think the number is closer to 17 million because, supposedly the last one they wrote 15 million aside. It's out in the Dearborn Museum.
But wasn't Daimler Benz making cars at the same time Ford was making them?
Oh yeah, well, and even earlier. I mean, Ford had 3 companies before he finally got the Ford Motor Company, and it was a success. So there's a long and interesting history. But it wasn't, and the reason I think about this, and when you start saying it, and it starts hitting me, it's not okay. He made fast and cheap. He made cars for the masses. But why did people want them? Besides the fact because they worked under the conditions. He made them high so they could get through the ruts in the mud. It was a very flexible frame, which is one of the things that beat the other guys. They're used to making carriages.
He solved the problem, in other words. There was a problem, and he solved it.
He had a planetary drive. Yeah, you and I try to drive it today. It looks strange, but it was easy for people to drive. And these are the things. So when we say we're going to make rules around this, we get like everything else. It's going to be very dynamic because you know what? Somebody's going to break out. Somebody's going to find a way around the rule. Just like when Nixon tried to put prices on beef and said, well, we'll just call it a different cut, and it's not on the list. I mean, obviously, we got rules around this, and then we can all forget about that and go watch the game tonight. No, this is going to be an ongoing and probably more profoundly transformative. But if you want to try to look at the analogies and take lessons from history, which I know you and I like to do,
well,
take a look at how that all developed, and then how Ford let it all go too, because he was a stubborn, interesting, psychotic man.
Okay, hold. Mitter Monday. I gotta. Up against the heartbreak. Hold on. Maggie will put you on hold. We'll continue this thrill-packed conversation when we come back. You can still make your donation and help us get the elusive crowdfunding number for August. CrusadeChannel.com/donate. CrusadeChannel.com/donate. Joshua McAlhatton on YouBoob, $10. Thank you. He says, "Come on, the rest of you chumps, pay up, pay up." I agree. Don't be a chump. Be a donor, a patron.
The Crusade Channel and the slaves of the Immaculate Heart of Mary's Sisters present the Saint of the Day.
Hello, this is Sister Maria Filomena with today's Saint of the Day. August 28th, St. Augustine died in the year 430. St. Augustine of Hippo, doctor of the Church, was born at Tagaste in northern Africa. His early life was spent in wicked ways, but thanks to the prayers of his holy mother, St. Monica, at the age of 33, St. Augustine was baptized a Catholic in Milan by St. Ambrose. He returned to Africa and was made Bishop of Hippo. He died at the age of 76. His two great works, the Confessions and the City of God, are among the most notable writings of all Catholic teachers. The body of St. Augustine now rests at Pavia in Italy. There's a church dedicated to him in Rome where his mother's body now rests. Any one of the sayings of St. Augustine lets us know the golden quality of his brilliant mind. He says that the heavenly ladder by which God came into the world was the humility of the Blessed Virgin Mary. St. Augustine composed, along with St. Ambrose, the beautiful hymn known as the Te Deum, which has 29 verses and which is recited in the office of Catholic priests, that is the breviary, and often sung in Catholic choirs. After exhorting his brethren who were around him to charity, piety, and the practice of every virtue, he passed to heaven, having lived 76 years and 36 as bishop. His body was first of all taken to Sardinia. Afterwards, Lupron, king of the Lombards, translated it to Pavia, where it was honorably entombed. We hope you enjoyed and inspired by the story of St. Augustine. Tomorrow is the feast of the beheading of St. John the Baptist. To access all of our Saint of the Day recordings as podcasts, go to crusadechannel.com/saints. You can learn more about the sisters and support the building of our new convent by visiting stphilomenaconvent.org. I'm Sister Maria Filomena, and until next time, God bless and Mary keep you. St. Augustine, pray for us.
Hey, it's the KingDude. You know, I've spent my life and career in broadcasting building relationships with listeners and relationships with clients. And I'm here to tell you that it's rare that I find an advertising client that specializes in building those very same relationships with my listeners. Now, this client deals in one of the most important items you can currently buy. That's why I'm happy and proud to introduce Revelation Gold Group as the official precious metal supplier to the Mike Church Show and the Red, White, and Dude Nation. You have a choice in what to listen to and have a choice in where to buy your precious metals. Well, you've chosen the right radio show. Now, choose the right precious metal supplier and go with Revelation Gold Group at mikechurch.com/gold. Start building a precious metal relationship that benefits you and your family for many, many years to come with Revelation Gold Group at mikechurch.com/gold.
Now, celebrating 35 years of unprecedented talk radio dominance, the Mike Church Show lives here on the Ethics and Broadcasting Network's Crusade Channel.
King-size truth
from radio-sized speakers. Listening to all 3 hours of the Mike Church Show can cause blindness, dizziness, loss. Warning, not listening to all 3 hours of the Mike Church Show can cause blindness, dizziness, loss of hearing, and a strange desire to buy Taylor Swift albums. Ugh.
Hey guys, you got a minute?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
It's about my dad. He wants to have a sex change operation.
Whoa, I knew he was gay. I didn't think he was that gay.
No, Peter, he's not gay. He's a woman stuck in a man's body.
Yeah, gay.
It's totally different.
Sounds the same.
Well, it's not.
Okay, so he wants to be a woman so he can be a lesbian?
No, he'd date men.
Gay.
Yeah, gay.
Okay, this is not the help I came over here for.
Well, look, let's just all agree that he's odd, huh?
He has an appointment Friday with Dr. Hartman to have the procedure, and he wants me to go with him. I don't know if I can handle that.
Well, I'm sure your friend Peter would be happy to come along for moral support.
All right, but look, here's the deal. Anything he lops off, we get to bring home for Brian.
That's very green of you, Peter.
You know the drill. What are you doing, Groot? Get out of here! Welcome back, Mike Church Show here. The Mike Church on the Ethics and Broadcasting Network, what every podcaster wants to be when they grow up. You know the drill. You know it. Okay, so during the timeout, this many new donations.
0.0.
But thank you for all of you who have contributed today. CrusadeChannel.com/donate. CrusadeChannel.com/donate. Try to help us get to that elusive August number. This portion of the program live from the Revelation Gold Group studios, brought to you by Capuchin Holy Roast Coffee and Whole Bean and Ground. That's what I am drinking today. Capuchin, Mike Church's Capuchin Holy Roast, a great blend. This is not a one-beaner here. This is a multi-beaner. So it's a great blend of Yergachefa from Ethiopia and Arabica from South America, roasted right down the street at the Abita Springs Roasting Company, and then brought right here to me to ship to you. So fresh. It's the freshest coffee, and it's also delicious. You're going to love it. So I challenge you to try and drink it black. I drink it black twice a week. And I actually like it black. I'm still a cream and sugar guy, but I think if you're a black coffee drinker, you'll like to sample the blend, because it is a blend. So try a bag or 16 today, along with the 6 varieties of whole bean and ground from the brothers at the Abbey in Silver City, New Mexico. Abbey Roast Coffee is also available at shop.mikechurch.com. You're going to drink coffee anyway. I don't know why this is such a challenge. You can't tell me that we don't have, out of 1,200 members, 1,140 coffee drinkers. But the coffee sales would never make you think that. So I invite you to try a bag or 16 today. Shop.mikechurch.com. I'm reading this movie review. I think we'll do a movie review today. It just won't be my review. But it will be a review of this One Night Only movie, because as I'm reading, and who wrote this one? Patrick Brown's review at First Things. I'm going like, this sounds really interesting. The guy that came up with it is in the demo too. So we'll do that. Let's go back to the telephones though, because it is a free phone Friday. You can call 844-527-8723. So what guardrails are you going to put in place around the AI bots or around the AI? So just like the automobile, you had to keep the car, and you had to. There were no automobiles mass produced prior to the 1920s. So when they did get mass produced and started showing up everywhere, you had to have laws and rules in place to keep them out of certain places, stop them from doing certain things and what have you. We ought to treat AI the exact same way. Mitt or Monday? So what didn't I historically cover?
I'm not going to take up too much more of your time, but again, you make another good point here. Here we are 100 years later from the introduction of mass-produced automobiles, and we're still messing around with them.
Yeah.
They're tracking us. They're watching us. You can't fix them. They won't let you. So, and they're still, here we are 100 years later still dealing with this. So it could be a very scary time if we don't have an alert populace. And since we do not, they're all at the mall, taking their credit card out of their fanny pack and buying a pair of sneakers with
lights in them. Well, how did you fix a horse back in the day? You didn't drop it off at the horse shop. You shot it. We think of blacksmiths today that, well, you put the shoes on the horses. Not all the time. They may have maintained the kilns and the furnaces and helped and made the shoes, among other metal things. But they didn't shoe everyone's horses. Every man that owned horses was his own blacksmith, right? It was his own farrier.
Yeah, pretty much. And if they did shoe them, it's not like horses were shoed through the entire.
Well, they don't have to be.
Yeah, I mean, depending on the use and the terrain, and it certainly is better for them. Well, different. They're subject to different conditions that they're walking on than they were 200 years ago. So. Like I said the other week when I called, I was trying to equivocate how much did somebody make in Roman times? We have no way of equivocating that because there's too far of a divide of culture and availability of things and climate. I mean, you can't just, those are silly things to do, but I guess they occupy some people's minds.
Well,
anyway.
The discussion about the car and about the modern things that they're doing to them, you have states that are now passing laws. This is why I think that we are on the cusp of some manner of a revolt. Because we have states that are doing things like Florida's done, like Texas has done, like Montana's done. Hopefully Louisiana and other states will do it. We're going to make it illegal for you to vend an automobile in this state that has a tracking device on it, a shutdown, a kill switch. Yeah, but Congress mandated. Well, Congress can do one thing, crap in one hand, and do you know what in the other. That doesn't mean that the people across the current union have to take it. And they're putting restrictions on things that you, as you said, you can't repair them, and basically telling you, well, wait a minute, this is property. I own this. Just because I left my driveway and went on to this thing called a road that I helped to pay for and must pay to help maintain does not give you license to take pictures, people liking pictures, of my license plate and then track me. So
it gets to be a very interesting dichotomy because, I do believe that you do not necessarily have privacy in public. On the other hand, do they have the right to accumulate data on you? That's a different topic.
Yeah, no,
I think I'd have a dichotomy there in my mind, but of course people say that I'm quite mad. So that's okay.
Well, when you enter the public square, then certain rules and regulations are going to apply. When you're in your privacy and you're on your property, you set the rules. When you leave your property and you go on to property that is communally owned, well, then the communal rules take over. I don't think anybody's arguing about that. I wouldn't argue. The only stupid libertarians argue stupid things like that. I wouldn't argue against that. But that does not mean that I traded because I went onto your property that is communally owned. I think if you have something that is communally owned, then you have to have communal, and I mean like supermajority consent to do anything.
Or the state does it because the state has determined there is no God. So now is communal the state? Because somebody still has to oversee something. You can't have 1 million people standing around in Central Park trying to decide something.
True.
So you still have to have spokespeople and representatives of some kind, and then as we know. How do they get into the positions they get? You know?
These things
Some
called
get appointed.
elections.
You know, some elections, well, some maybe elections at the point of a gun. I mean, this history can give us probably half a dozen major ways that it happened. Maybe I'll do that tonight. I'll write down all the ways that happened. All right, I'm not going to take up more
All
of
right,
your
thank you
time,
very
sir.
much.
I just wanted to get that off me. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Thank you. 844-527-8723, our call-in line. Telephone number if you'd like to be on the program to follow up Mid or Monday. Let's play some digital media files. Here's Trump changing the name of Lake. Now, this is what now passes for MAGA. We're making America great again by telling the Canadians that they can go themselves. We're not taking the Canadian crap anymore. None of it. We're not taking it. Ooh, that's showing them, Mr. President. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Canadians are quaking in their... kind of boots would they? And their Dudley Do-Right boots. So here... No, it's number one.
He's just signing it.
Oh, I thought he was... Okay, well, number two. Number two.
No message. As you know, Canada's been ripping us off for a long time on trade, very sadly. Even the military, you know, we defend Canada for nothing. We don't get anything. They don't pay us to defend Canada, but we defend Canada. And they understand that. As an example, we bought icebreakers. They'd like to use them. We have 11 brand new icebreakers coming in. They'd like to use the icebreakers. They don't pay for anything. And they want to be treated like a state, but they're not a state. But they want to be treated like they're a state. And so we just can't do that anymore. We lose on average over
what do we
the last
need
15
icebreakers
years,
for?
$60 billion a year carrying Canada. So we just can't do it anymore. We love the people of Canada. I don't think their representatives do an appropriate job. Maybe they'll change. I really don't know. I mean, it doesn't make much difference. But we can't let the whole Canadian thing that's been going on for decades, and it has to come to a stop. So we're going to be doing tariffs on their cars that are coming in at a substantial level, because we want to make the cars here. We don't want, if they can make their own cars if they want, and they can continue to make their cars for Canada, but we don't want them to make cars for the United States of America. It's very simple. Likewise, many other products. So the lake change, Lake of America, was something I've been thinking about for a long time, actually. As you know, we took something called the Gulf of Mexico. We changed it, and now it's very routinely the Gulf of America. So if you think about it, we have a Gulf and we have
a lake.
Now all we need is an ocean.
Now we need is an
Change
ocean.
the name of the Atlantic and/or the Pacific.
I'm going to start calling it the American Ocean. We're done with this Atlantic Ocean. It's the American Ocean. And if you want to cross it, you have to pay Trump. Trump has got to be, you have to pay Trump to cross the American Ocean. That's what we're going to call this. Now, look, I agree with him on the tariff, and I agree with him on making the cars in the United States. But again, I can make you an argument for importing automobiles the same way I made an argument yesterday for importing French wines. A Mercedes-Benz is not a Chevy Cavalier. A Mercedes-Benz S-Class automobile is not a Chevrolet Cavalier. I'm trying to think, what is the little tiny car, the Escort, a Ford Escort. A Ford Escort is a little tiny car. A Mercedes S-Class or a G-Series SUV is much larger, much more luxurious. It has stuff in it, in engineering that the Mercedes, that the Ford doesn't have. So, can you introduce that into a market where they're making cars? Well, to me, then, that becomes a luxury item, basically, and a choice. And it's not something that you would subject to that kind of a tariff where you're protecting the auto worker. Now, if the Chinese try or the Japanese try and import a small car the size of an Escort, or let's just say it's the China does it. And they do it with their trademark slave labor, and they can sell the car to us for about half of what you can make it for here. Well, then you have to protect. Then you throw the tariff wall up and you say no. So what he's talking about is the fact that the Ford Motor Company and General Motors have moved manufacturing facilities to Canada because they get better deals on things. They make the cars there, and then they import them back into the United States so they can make a bigger profit. Now, that's just greed. You insist on buying American. Are you sure that the thing was made in America? And then, what else do we have? Well, let's go back to the telephones, 844-527-8723. Donate button is at crusadechannel.com/donate for the August crowdfunding. It'd really be cool to really share a great moment with you people and say, we did it! By the end of the program to get to the August number. Not looking so good right now, but Our Lady can work miracles, and she has before. Okay, Jeff Johnson.
Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I am overworked, underpaid, underappreciated, but otherwise fantastic.
I completely understand. Hey, I'm going to just touch on real quick something that Mr. Mundy said. I do miss being able to work on vehicles. You remember the cap rotor, points condensers, and we could work on our vehicle, had our timing light, and we could adjust it a little bit and get better performance. Those days, I miss those. I mean, now all these cars, you can't work on them. You have to have a degree. Look at Ford. They're trying to hire, remember Mike Rowe? I remember you talking about that with Ford can hire mechanics. And why is that? Because no one else can work on them.
Right.
I do miss those days.
Okay, so if I give you an acronym for working on your car and you just mentioned it, you'll know what it means. What is BTDC?
Before Top Dead Center.
Yeah, see, he knew.
Yeah, back then, you wanted
back
to
then,
know
Jeff,
that. You had to know
every
that
kid
to make that car run.
I knew before Top Dead Center in 10th grade.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, that's not why I called, but I just wanted to mention, Mr. Mundy's right on that. It's gotten out of control, and you said it before that you would just love a car that was just a car without all the crap, and I agree. I definitely don't want one with OnStar and all this stuff where they can track me, and that gets me to where I was going.
Okay.
We're about AI data centers and Flock and all that stuff. So I have now come to the conclusion that data centers are our prison. AI is the warden. Flock is the police washing. Flock is the police washing our every move, and metadata is the evidence against us. It is our prison system that they're developing so they can control our every move. And that sounds like tinfoil hat crap, but it's really not.
No, it sounds that's a perfect description. So the Flock camera is the cops, the AI is the warden, the jail is no wait a minute, I have that backwards. The AI is the jail.
No, the data center is the prison.
The data center is the prison.
Is the warden. The warden is running everything, making sure everything's in order so that they can keep us in that prison.
AI is the warden. Flock is the cop, right?
And metadata is the evidence against us.
Cop, and meta is how they convict you. That's great. That's a really great breakdown. I wrote it down so I would remember it.
Put that on a T-shirt.
Yeah. So I'm on Facebook constantly posting that when I see people that have destroyed Flock cameras, I always say, "Way to go, Patriot! This is our Boston Tea Party," because we really are in a Boston Tea Party moment. If we allow this to take hold, we can't do anything. And you go to the store, you scan it, then you pay for it. bing, 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 right metadata, right to the government, right
That's
to
right.
the data center. I mean, they can track our purchases, they track everything we do, and our phone is spying on us too. It's spying on me right now, talking to you. So, I need to get off. I know we're getting up against a hard break. So, but I just wanted to call on that because
It used to be that you knew if the government was reading your mail until they got really good at opening it, because you could see that the seal was tampered with. This is why the wax seal was basically invented. It was the first cybersecurity measure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the wax seal is the first security measure for communication. You put a wax seal on it with your imprimatur or your family crest or government crest or whatever, and it can't be broken. And if it is...
It was the first certified mail.
Exactly. And you can still use it as a certified mail. You just wax seal that joker down means that, for my eyes only, right?
Right. So, but at this point in time, it sounds like the tinfoil house. I sound like Jeff Shaker, Shaffer 13.
Shaffer 13? No, nobody sounds like Shaffer 13.
Well, I'm getting pretty close with this, but, you can't look at this and not know where this is going. I mean, why do we need all these data centers? It's way more than we'd ever need.
No.
In 100 lifetimes.
It's almost like they're preparing for some eventuality that you and I don't know about.
Well, I saw someone say something about that, too, because you have seen that the military is building all these little they have billions of dollars set aside to build micro power plant, nuclear plants. It's a lot of these forts in the United States. And I heard someone say, well, it's almost like they know something's coming, and they're going to make sure that their military has power.
But dude, are you watching the Silo series on Apple?
I don't have Apple, so no, I'm not.
Okay, well, you could read the books.
Okay.
That's basically the premise of the third season of the Silo series. Is how did they know what was coming? And you know what they did when they found out what was coming? They dug the silos. They dug 50 silos, almost 50 holes in the ground, about a mile deep each, and about 300 yards across, almost 1,000 feet across. And they put these things in. They call them silos. It's kind of creepy how it's tracking and paralleling what's going on today. All right, now I am up against a hard break. Thank you, Jeff.
Okay. All right, you have a great day. Have a great weekend.
All right, thank you. Well, I will have a great weekend, and Maggie will too if she can relax knowing that the August crowdfunding has been met at crusadechannel.com/donate. You people that are watching on the YouTube, you haven't got your Super Chat number yet either. Your 10 donations on the YouTube. So we'll end the suspense when we come back and find out whether or not either of these goals are going to be met today. And I'll do movie reviews next segment as well. So stick around. You're not going to want to miss. Ooh, the excitement builds. Hey, it's time for another Cooking with the King Dude Backyard Barbecue Beast Mode tip. Pour 1/2 cup beast and butt rub into 1/2 cup brown sugar. Combine the two thoroughly and then put that into a shaker. Now you have the sweetest and spiciest barbecue seasoning on the market. So your wife, who loves sweet, and your Uncle Bobo, who loves butt kicking spicy, are both satisfied with your barbecue, and to them, you are a beast and butt rub Beast Mode champion. Get more of my Backyard Barbecue Beast Mode tips and your beast and butt rub today at shop.wickchurch.com.
Listen, were you forced into getting a solar contract and now you just don't want it anymore? Maybe the solar company misled you. Or is your solar contract buried with hidden fees? Are you not saving the amount of money you thought you would on your energy costs? Don't worry. At the Solar Exit Hotline, we can help you cancel your solar contract, even if the panels are already installed. Our experienced legal team will review your contract and help you cancel it, possibly saving you thousands of dollars. You got to call right now for complete details. So listen, if you're not happy with your solar contract for any reason, we are here to help you cancel it. Call the Solar Exit Hotline now for immediate options to help you exit your solar contract. This call is 100% free.
800-932-1789. 800-932-1789. 800-932-1789. That's 800-932-1789.
More news, financial literacy, quality of life, health improvements, Christian ministry, sports, and more. AM 1010, The King.
Mike Church Show News. News you can trust.
Because let's face it, the truth just sounds different. Like a symphony of facts.
And now, here's Janet Huxley.
Hello, Red, White, and Dude Nation. Welcome to Friday, August 28th, 2026. I'm Janet Huxley at the Mike Church Show News Desk, live from the ranch in Kansas City. This report is brought to you by Mike Church's Beast and Butt Rub, a rub that's won championships and will help make you a champ in your kitchen or backyard. Check out Mike's recipes and pick up a bottle or 6 today at shop.mikechurch.com. Here's what to listen for this hour. Democrats hand Trump one power they spent years fighting. Iran dismisses reports of an alleged plot against Barron Trump. Experts zero in on likely cause of deadly Nepal mudslide. World's first patient to undergo live AI-assisted brain surgery has tumor removed. After fighting against a key tool in President Donald Trump's economic arsenal, Senate Democrats quietly acquiesced the authority before they left Washington, D.C. They've raged against Trump's use of tariffs since they were first floated during his campaign in 2024 and have taken every chance to challenge and push back against duties imposed on other countries throughout his second term. But nearly the entire Senate Democrat caucus voted in favor of giving Trump limited tariff authority in exchange for severe sanctions against Russia. Only 9 Democrats and Senator Rand Paul ultimately voted against the package. Reports of a potential plot to assassinate President Donald Trump's youngest son, Barron Trump, were dismissed as a lie on Thursday by Iran's top security official. Mohsen Rezai, secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council, made the comments during an interview broadcast by Lebanon's Al-Manar TV, Iran International reported. Rezai's remarks followed a video aired by Iranian state television that discussed an alleged plot against 20-year-old Barron Trump. The video also said he was being monitored and that a $10 million bounty had been placed on his life. The Secret Service said Tuesday it was aware of the video and was investigating anything that could be perceived as a threat against people under its protection. The catastrophic floods in Nepal and Tibet, now estimated to have killed hundreds, were likely triggered by a massive glacier collapse and debris flow that registered as a magnitude 5.2 landslide, according to the U.S. Geological Service. The service originally pinpointed the cause of the mudslides as a 4.4 magnitude earthquake, but later updated its analysis after observing data from nearby seismic stations, long-period seismic waves, and satellite imagery. The data suggests that no earthquake had occurred. Climate experts at the Kathmandu-based International Center for Integrated Mountain Development told the Associated Press that Wednesday's flash floods were likely triggered by a glacial avalanche. More than 1,400 remain missing. Our quote of the day: to have courage for whatever comes in life. Everything lies in that. St. Teresa of Avila. Coming up, a look at more headlines. You're listening to The Mike Church Show and the Red, White, and Dude Nation.
Do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call. Because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at crazy low prices. They have access to great prices and discounts at over 500 different airlines. plus 300,000 hotels and rental car companies. Their prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find the best price for you. Call SmartFares today and get ready to see the world with a fat wallet.
800-313-7757. 800-313-7757. 800-313-7757. That's 800-313-7757.
Check out today's Saint of the Day in the Saint of the Day podcast from the Slaves to the Immaculate Heart Sisters by listening or downloading at crusadechannel.com/saint. Now look at more headlines. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration approved the use of a new cancer treatment pill on Wednesday, according to Fox News. Raisin Q, manufactured by Revolution Medicines in California, is an inhibitor for the most common type of pancreatic cancer. The tablet, which is taken once daily, targets multiple forms of a protein called RAS that drives tumor growth. In a press release, the FDA called Raisin Q a new treatment option for patients with advanced pancreatic cancer, noting the agency approved it more than 6 months ahead of its review deadline. Today's approval provides a critical new option for patients facing an extraordinarily difficult and historically hard to treat cancer. It is our fundamental duty to deliver more cures and meaningful treatments to patients as quickly as possible, Acting FDA Commissioner Kyle Diamantis said in a press release. I am immensely proud of the dedicated FDA scientists whose fast, thorough review and relentless commitment made this groundbreaking milestone a reality. The authorization is for adults with metastatic pancreatic cancer that either did not respond to at least one prior treatment or could not receive certain combination drug therapies. A 48-year-old man has become the first patient in the world to have a brain tumor removed while medical teams utilized real-time artificial intelligence during surgery, according to Britain's Independent. Surgeons at the National Hospital for Neurology and Neurosurgery, part of University College London Hospital's NHS Foundation Trust, operated on Rise Hibbert using novel technology, which helps identify minuscule brain anatomy by color coding or segmenting crucial structures to help clinicians recognize them safely. I'm Janet Huxley for the Mike Church Show and the Red, White, and Dude Nation, because ethics in broadcasting matters.
One of my favorite books is Jim Collins' Good to Great, and lots of people have benefited from reading it, including me. But few people have read his follow-up book, How the Mighty Fall. Now, over the course of the last 18 years, has been quite the feat of survival to avoid becoming one of the fallen, but survive we have. And guess what else survived? The world-famous Dude Number t-shirt, which began in 2007. Now, to kick off the relaunch of this elite membership club, we announced a brand new t-shirt design, a brand new certificate of authenticity, and access to numbers that have only recently become available. Here's Jim to tell you how to secure that Dude Number that's unique and special to you.
Just head to mikechurch.com/dude for all things Dude Number, including purchasing your 2026 version of the world-famous Dude Number t-shirt. That's mikechurch.com/dude and join America's morning show, The Mike Church Show, and the Red, White, and Dude Nation's elite membership club. That's mikechurch.com/dude. You know what makes radio horror and sci-fi traumas that much better? Listening to them in hi-fi. Yeah, the Crusade channel sounds as good, but it's not THX sound good. But you don't need it to be to enjoy over 500 episodes of the greatest sci-fi classics called Suspense. Catch 2 hours of suspense weekdays at 11 a.m. exclusively on the Crusade channel.
For the last time, I'm pretty sure what's killing the crops is this Brondo stuff.
The Brondo's got what plants crave. It's got electrolytes.
So wait a minute. What you're saying is that you want us to put water on the crops?
Yes.
Water? Like out the toilet?
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be out of the toilet, but yeah, that's the idea.
But Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolytes.
Okay, look, the plants aren't growing. So I'm pretty sure that the Brondo's not working. Now, I'm no botanist, but I do know that if you put water on plants, they grow.
Well, I've never seen no plants grow out of no toilet.
Hey, that's good. You sure you ain't the smartest guy in the world?
Yeah.
So let's go back.
Okay, look, you want to solve this problem. I want to get my pardon, so why don't we just try it, okay? And not worry about what plants crave.
Brondo's got what plants crave.
Yeah, it's got electrolytes.
What are electrolytes? Do you even know?
It's what they used to make Brondo.
Yeah, but why did they use them to make Brondo?
Because Brondo's got electrolytes.
And now more of what you bought your Dude Nation membership for. The world famous, ever important, growing by leaps and bounds, hour number 3 of the Mike Church Show here on the Ethics and Broadcasting Network. Coming to you live from the Capuchin Holy Rose Studios here. Shop with us today or this weekend for Capuchin Holy Rose Coffee at shop.mikechurch.com. It is a free phone Friday, and you know what that means.
Oh, and remember, Friday is Hawaiian Shirt Day. So, you know, if you want to, go ahead and wear a Hawaiian shirt and jeans.
It's free phone.
That is
It's free phone.
Yes, it is a free phone Friday. Yay! They are charged with the task of telling us what it is we shall talk about on the program. When will Atlanta make first contact? Coming to you live on 1010 The King in Atlanta. All right, Atlanta, I'm trying to leave you my warp signature so you can detect me. Call me at 844-527-8723, 844-5-CRUSADE. Email me, KingDude at MikeChurch.com. In this ever-exciting, thrill-packed... I thought you said you got another U-boob.
Oh, I did.
Thank Rich DeTrullo, thank you. And there's another one. William Payne for your wonderful donations at crusadechannel.com/donate. I just updated the ticker. So, right now, $1,757.24 is the mark for this hour. 1,700 and change. crusadechannel.com/donate. Okay. I was threatening movie reviews, so I'm going to do this one. Un cinema critique. This is at firstthings.com. In his recent memoir, Communion, so I can't take credit for the review, but it's a good one. It's Patrick T. Brown. J.D. Vance talks about profoundly sad. J.D. Vance talks about feeling profoundly sad for today's kids navigating the dating scene. You know what? Can you get the trailer? I think we have a picture-in-picture for this, don't you? Can you get the... I think there's the trailer for One Night Only is the name of the movie. It's a comedy. Or it's supposed to be a comedy. J.D. Vance talks about feeling profoundly sad for today's kids navigating the dating scene. Hookup culture wasn't good in a lot of ways, he writes. It wasn't exactly a perfect example of Christian sexual ethics. But the mistakes you saw people make were normal mistakes, the kind of things you learn from, talk to your friends about, maybe even cried over. Now, you're seeing the trailer right there for that's playing in the window there. You know, maybe we can actually play the trailer rather than just having it play the audio of it. In any event, there's three reviews now that I've seen about One Night Only that have piqued my curiosity, and curiosity kills cats and intrigues kings. In this instance, KingDudes. So that's why. Okay. So here's the trailer.
I'm hungry. Huh? I'm hungry. Huh? So hungry.
We're closed.
I know the owner. This is the best pizza I've ever had. I think it's better than sex. I can't remember.
What's your favorite part?
Extra cheese.
Of sex?
The build up.
That's just a typical lady answer.
What's yours? Boobs? Cowgirl? You like to jackhammer?
Wow. For me, it's about the after.
Oh, come on.
Two people lying there, sharing a secret. Finding love is hard enough. Try doing it on the one night a year single people are legally allowed to have sex. I hate this night. Mom, I'm just gonna stay in.
No, you should go out. This night's insane. I just want to find, like, a good guy.
To finding true love on the least romantic night of the year.
We're gonna go slow.
We're gonna make good choices. Allie, this is Tayshawn.
Hello.
We met in line for the bathroom.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Can I get a whiskey?
How is anyone supposed to find something real on a night like tonight?
Sorry.
I'm Owen.
Allie,
What about us?
your ears look like car doors.
Well, your nose is way too small for your face.
Your chin could plow a field.
Your legs don't make any sense.
Your hairline doesn't make any sense.
Night's almost over, and we're running out of time. We're all just trying to find someone who makes going through it worth it.
Who would you choose
Allie!
if you only had one night?
Are you two together? I'm gonna need a clear answer.
You're cute when you're nervous.
I'm not nervous.
Saying you're just cute.
Okay, One Night Only, out in theaters nationwide, offers its own wild take on what's gone wrong with swipe culture. You know, we're told that the sexual revolution and feminism and swipe culture was going to liberate all these kids. And that, oh, sex is going to be this and sex is going to be so good and it's going to happen so much more often and everyone's going to have much more of it. It's going to be so much better than stupid, silly, old school, fuddy-duddy monogamy and marriage and what have you. Well, a funny thing happened on the way to paradise. It didn't work out. It's not working out. Something is dysfunctionally wrong. And that's what this movie is about. What if it dares to ask Hey, can you find a review at First Things? Okay, if you want to show this. What if it dares to ask a world in which there are no rules and restrictions around sex is, in fact, less sexy, not to mention less fulfilling, than a world that treats sex as something powerful, crazy-making, even a little bit dangerous? The film is a love letter to New York City, an overt criticism of dating app culture and big tech overreach, a gently mocking middle finger to the public health establishment, and either the most red-blooded apologia for purity culture or the most subtly reactionary depiction of hookup culture since HBO's Girls went off air. It is, in short, a very First Things sex comedy. If you don't know, First Things is a Catholic magazine. I never saw this show, Girls.
We talked about it. We talked about it several times on the show back in the day when it was actually on, because it was nothing but young girls in New York City just hoeing their way through the city, basically.
Okay.
It had Lena, the heavyset girl, actress.
I'm sure I have no clue who you're talking about.
Well,
and I never watched it. Let the record show that I never watched Girls.
It's Lena Dunham.
You're going to have to show me a picture. I have no idea who you're talking about. Is she one of those stupid Pitch Perfect movies?
No. This girl. This girl. You know her.
Never seen her before in my life.
Goodness gracious. We have literally talked about her on several shows years ago because she was like the epitome of just nasty, trashy white girl.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. The setup is straightforward enough about the film, One Night Only. 3 years prior to the events of the film, Congress passed a mandate that makes sex outside of marriage illegal for 364 days of the year. Do you think we could actually try this? The film takes place entirely on the one bacchanalian night when the mandate is lifted. One Night Only is nowhere close to family-friendly, with plenty of partial or pixelated nudity and raunchy language to spare, but the artificial limit placed around the protagonist's pursuit of non-marital sex gives their horniness a kind of analog feel. It's precisely society's restraints on sex that make the chase that much more thrilling and more human than casually swiping right on an app. I really thought this whole thing was going to ruin sex for me, says one character pre-hookup. But it gave it a new meaning. Who do you choose to be with for this one night? Choice itself is romantic. Maybe the fascists were right about this one. Ooh, interesting. Mainstream critics haven't loved the movie, not least because it implicitly dares to side with the vice president and other conservatives who see sex as something deeply meaningful. They also balk at the references to the fascists and their mandate, clearly meant as a sly wink at another real-world public health emergency. So in other words, this is kind of like a COVID lockdown, Smackdown 2. Cutesy corporate ads from Dunkin' Donuts, Equinox, and Duolingo seem happy to go along with the government's policy. We get the sense that most people accepted biometric tracking and mandate enforcement without much organized opposition. CDC produced pictographic warnings and slogans against non-sanctioned sex proliferate throughout the city. The only thing missing is an anti-fornication Dr. Fauci. Well, you can only do it one night of the year, and if you do, wear your mask. But even as the film pokes fun at the religious rights imposition of an extremely particular kind of marriage incentive, it portrays real sympathy for the conservative argument that something as powerful as sex needs social norms to give it structure. Our heroine, played by Monica Barbaro, sounds like she's been reading some conservative critics of contemporary feminism. The chance of having good sex on a one-night stand is something like 2.8%, she tells a friend. Of course I want sex, but not sex that just leaves me feeling empty. Close quote. Her paramour is an amiable pizzeria owner played by Callum Turner. You know what? He was the guy. He was Sergeant Ermy in the Capture series. That's where I saw him at. That's who he. Okay, I'm looking at it going like, wait a minute. I know this guy. Tishra13 says to help poor Mike Church and poor Maggie. Sincerely, dude number 31, Hard Luck Johnny, $10. Thank you, Hard Luck Johnny. Which is $10 closer to knocking out the $1,700 needed to meet the crowdfunding this hour. CrusadeChannel.com/donate. There are various encounters built toward a late-night pizza. I like him late-night pizzas. Wait a minute, can I get in on this? Hello, Monica? They got to make a movie out about us, sweetheart. I mean, girl. And it's clear Barbaro's character is attracted to more than just his wry humor. His expertise and almost sensual care he brings to his craft are compelling in a way no dating app could capture. It's the in-person time spent together running around New York that makes them break through to discover a real connection. When they get together in the waning moments of the one night, they decide that they were searching for something more than casual. They can't let the mandate win, they say, by forcing them into a quick release and risk bringing risk bringing their arc to a premature conclusion. They'd rather wait a year and get to know each other without the pressure of needing to decide then whether to be sexually intimate or not. You know, there's something to be said for this. There is a soundbite. I don't know if Maggie put it on the cut share. Did you see Robert RFK Jr. yesterday? There's another cooking show he did. He said something about it. I watched it. He's in the kitchen, and I can't remember who the celebrity chef is. I recognize him. He's a Food Network guy. But he's in the kitchen with him, and he goes, you know, throughout all of human history, one of the things that has bound every civilization together has been cooking together. You know, you stop and think about that for a minute. Just invite a friend or a family member over for a meal and let them hang out in the kitchen while you do your culinary thing. It's actually true. And it's something you can't app out. It has to be analog. The sexual revolution promised a wide open landscape of no strings attached sex. But the societal impact of depersonalized intimacy and electronic erotica has led more and more women, and no small number of men, to express despair at our brave new romantic landscape. The sexual utopia dreamt up by Hugh Hefner and Gloria Steinem, to say nothing of the ideal of chastity espoused by Christendom, has been displaced in the new sexual marketplace, where the lowest common denominators is solitary, solipsistic, sexless. One night only pokes fun at those who were willing to accept restrictions on personal liberty imposed from above, and offers a colorfully fantastical vision of aggressively post-liberal moralism. When you remove all the barriers that once socially hemmed in young people's freedom, you also take down the guardrails that guided them to meet, date, and mate. That's a really good point. At a time when a growing number of voices, including in Hollywood, are realizing that a society without signposts doesn't lead to more freedom, but to more anxiety and neuroses. One night only suggests that voluntary restrictions on our sexual freedoms may end up leading to more happy endings after all. So again, it sounds like a three Reagan film to me. Just based on his review, You're going to have the language in there, but at the end, it sounds like something that I actually might want to go to the theater and watch. So the film is one night only, and I'm going to give it 3 Reagans, and that's the only film that we have to review this week. But you can get all my other film reviews at MikeChurch.com or on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@RealKingDude. This portion of the program brought to you by, look, St. Benedict Center event is coming up. October 9th and 10th, great time of year to go to New Hampshire anyway, to see the foliage. I'm going to give you the bonus. The bonus is you get me. Come and watch me give my talk on my oases of sanity, and you get to meet Maggie O'Connell. I think that's worth, and all 6 of her. You got to change clothes 6 times during that weekend. You go like, well, you don't have to dress up as each one of the producer positions. Get your tickets right now. See Brother Andre and Marie, Sir Charles Coulomb, Joe Doyle, Sister Marie Gabrielle, Sister Maria Philomena, Brother Andre and Marie, and all those talks. Do it live this year. Don't do it over the internet connection. I want all of you to go this year. Go to Catholicism.org. Get your tickets today. Okay, one final shout out, CrusadeChannel.com/donate.
Hello, Crusaders. This is Sister Maria Philomena inviting you to join us in Richmond, New Hampshire this October 9th and 10th for our annual conference as we consider oases of sanity in the 21st century. Connect with Mike Church, Charles Coulomb, Brother Andre Marie, Commander John Sharp, CJ Doyle, Jeb Smith, Sister Marie Gabrielle, and myself for thoughtful discussion and fortifying Catholic camaraderie at St. Benedict Center. Register now by going to Catholicism.org/conference. Catholicism.org/conference.
Hello, Red, White, and Dude Nation. I'm Janet Huxley at the Mike Church Show News Desk with your crucials for Friday, August 28th, 2026. This brought to you by Mike Church's Beast and Butt Rub, a rub that's won championships and will help make you a champ in your kitchen or backyard. Check out Mike's recipes and pick up a bottle or 6 today at shop.mikechurch.com. In the market report, the Dow closed up 0.20%, the S&P 0.72, and it was a good day for NASDAQ as well. It's up 1.57%. Today is National Thoughtful Day. Today is an opportunity to demonstrate how we value each other. National Thoughtful Day sets aside a celebration meant to bring goodwill in a variety of ways. By serving the day with a spirit of generosity toward others, a ripple effect takes place. Today is Rainbow Bridge Remembrance Day, setting aside a day to remember the pet companions we've lost. And it's Red Wine Day. Throughout the year, wine days afford us the opportunity to taste and learn about the differences between wines. Earlier this month, National Prosecco Day gave us the last bubbly rays of summer. Now we savor the best of the season with Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignon, Pinot Noir, Port, and Syrah. Our quote of the day: to have courage for whatever comes in life, everything lies in that. Teresa of Avila. You can learn about today's saint in the Saint of the Day podcast from the Slaves to the Immaculate Heart Sisters by listening or downloading at crusadechannel.com/saint. You're listening to The Mike Church Show and the Red, White, and Dude Nation.
Hey folks, Mike Church here. You know, when I was a little cheerins, I remember loving the old Dunkin' Donuts TV spot. You know, the one with the guy who got up at 3 a.m. mumbling to himself as he went out the door and then back in his front door.
Time to make the donut.
Well, fast forward 46 years, and now I'm the guy waking up at 3 a.m., mumbling to myself as I go in the studio door, then back out. Time to make the radio. I made the radio. I made the radio. But I have a secret weapon the Dunkin' Donut dude didn't have. Mike Church's Capuchin Holy Roast coffee in whole bean or ground. Our fresh, aromatic, gourmet coffee is made from 100% fair trade beans, freshly imported, roasted by my friend Kyle and his daughter at the Abita Roasting Company, then delivered to you so fresh your kitchen will smell like a barista shop. Good. So, whenever you arise to take on the day and listen to the Mike Church Show, do it the Red, White, and Dude Nation way by brewing up a fresh pot of Capuchin Holy Roast or my all-new Capuchin Holy Roast New Orleans blend coffee and chicory at shop.mikechurch.com.
Now, celebrating 35 years of unprecedented talk radio dominance, the Mike Church Show lives here on the Ethics and Broadcasting Network's Crusade channel.
King Size Truth
from radio-sized speakers.
Listen, were you forced into getting a solar contract and now you just don't want it anymore? Maybe the solar company misled you. Or is your solar contract buried with hidden fees? Are you not saving the amount of money you thought you would on your energy costs? Don't worry. At the Solar Exit Hotline, we can help you cancel your solar contract, even if the panels are already installed. Our experienced legal team will review your contract and help you cancel it, possibly saving you thousands of dollars. You got to call right now for complete details. So listen, if you're not happy with your solar contract for any reason, we are here to help you cancel it. Call the Solar Exit Hotline now for immediate options to help you exit your solar contract. This call is 100% free.
800-932-1789. 800-932-1789. 800-932-1789. That's 800-932-1789.
Hey, Mrs. McGillicuddy, don't be a satellite radio snob and pass by the Mike Church Show. Come on in and browse.
May I help you?
Oh, no thanks, just browsing.
How long do you intend to browse?
Well, that lady there, you didn't ask her how long she intends to browse. How come you're asking us how long we intend to browse?
You don't look like browsers.
Now that that's over,
How about a Fresca?
the Mike Church Show, entertaining browsers and fans since 1992 on the Veritas Radio Networks. Crusade.
2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3.
Staying alive in too much heaven, Mike Church Show here on the Ethics and Broadcasting Network. A veritable Batman logo projected on the American sky. If you found me on the Crusade Channel app, stop swiping. You're here. Speaking of, I was tallying up just this morning our newfound video reel success on Pride Book. I stopped counting at 720,000 views. 720,000 views on our little reel video clips in the last 10 days. So, and I'm looking to see if there is a common denominator. And the only common denominator that I can see is me. There is no subject-based common denominator. But, you know, as I'm looking at this, okay, there's a video up there. It's me talking about William Ayers, hosting the first political fundraiser for Barack Hussein Obama and his political career, and that he is the husband of Bernadine Dorn, that killed two Brinks armored car drivers in the early 80s in a robbery gone bad. And, the founder of the Weather Underground and Students for Democratic Socialist SDS, Students for Democratic Society, the socialists. And it's only a 50-second clip. There are 1,000 comments on it. Now, I didn't go through them because why violate my own rule just to enjoy the result? But I'm racking my brain, and I'm trying to figure out how, after all of these years, we started the Mike Church Show fan page on Pride Book probably back in 2008, 2009, somewhere up in there, maybe even before then. During the Corona Doom, when they killed it, because they kept flagging me. It didn't matter what I'd post. If I told the truth about what was going on, I'd get they'd take the post down. And I finally got so tired of it that I deleted the page. But it was up to 19,000 followers or something like that. The Crusade channel, Pride Book page, prior to all of this excitement, had a little north of 3,000 followers on it. In 2 days, it has added 4,000 followers. Now, that is not translated into a single donation, a single membership, sign up with the it's just translated into a set of eyeballs and a pair of ears that has now finally heard the truth, which is, I think, a win in and of itself. But it's a curiosity to me, and I'm still and I'm wondering out loud, how does this algorithm thing, how can it have such a dichotomy to it? And that for, almost 2 decades, it has managed to suppress the Mike Church Show. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, 750,000. So he falls down a well, his eyes go cross, he gets kicked by a mule, they go back, I don't know. And I really think that's where I'm at with it. Let's talk about crazy witches. So, by the way, Trump's out there bragging yesterday. We cleared all the mines in the Strait of Hormuz. The strait is now open again. It was open when you took it over and bombed it. Democrats do this. Democrats are the ones that do stuff like this. Jillian Michaels is on with Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil is talking about this Lindsay Clancy case and about real mental psychotic behavior, because it really does happen, just not very often. And so she and he try to explain why these witches are out there on social media supporting Lindsay Clancy. Remember, I just play number 8, the first one.
This is, I think, what so many are really unraveling over, is because one person does something crazy. We've seen this before, right? You talked about the lady that drowned her children in the pool. It's a repulsive tragedy. It's disgusting. Mental illness, evil demons. Everybody has their reasons, right? A cascade of 11 different medications. And again, we could continue to litigate that. But when thousands of women take to social media in this fashion this is something that is disturbing in a way I can't even articulate. What is happening here?
Well, we're in an exhibitionistic society with all these social media platforms where people think they need an audience when they're brushing their teeth. Don't need to see that. Don't need to see you brushing your teeth. And now I think what they're doing is trying to validate that this is a real thing for her. And I think every one of those should be investigated. I get the idea that what they're trying to do is say, look, this is real, this has happened, I've gone through this. Then why, if that's the case, if you're in the same situation, why is their spouse, mother, father, adult siblings, if these women are in postpartum psychosis, why are they being allowed access to those children? I mean, that one woman burning the child and the other one, frantically gyrating next to the child. I mean, if that's staged, shame on you. You're traumatizing your child.
Right.
If it's real, that person an intervention needs to take place, and that person needs to be removed and not have access to that child.
If you're like me, this makes you wonder what in the wide world of sports has happened out there. Or here, one or two conclusions. What is making this, causing this to occur is conclusion one. Conclusion two is it has always occurred. We just didn't have social media for people to tell you that it was occurring. I'm going
to give you a hot take. You ready? We knew and we have known for a long time that women have this desire to be seen, to be liked, and to be looked up to, and to have all eyes on them. We saw it with you called it tranny mammies, with women that transitioned their children. They posted it all over social media because they wanted the accolades. They didn't care what they were doing to their child. They wanted all of society to be like, oh, you're such a great human for doing this for your child. This is the same thing that's happening with this Lindsay Clancy crap. You've got all these women that are, look at me, I've felt that way too. It's not about their children, it's about them. It's an ego, beyond compare.
So do they just want to be, they want to be part of something? Because most of them are barren. Most of them have no man, have no marriage, have nothing in their life other than their swipes, their stupid phones, their stupid pink T-shirts, and their ridiculous online friends. So they just want to I'm part of something. I'm in the Lindsay Clancy fan club. I don't think you want to be in the Lindsay Clancy fan club. I think she's going to be found guilty. And she should be found guilty. And I wish they had capital punishment in Massachusetts or Massachusetts, because then they would execute her. And that would be a fitting, a suitable ending, I think. Execute Lindsay Clancy. Give her a chance to confess her sins to a Catholic priest, be given absolution and a penance. Now, the absolution doesn't take place until the penance is actually carried out, theoretically. So that is what is needed here. You would accomplish so many things at one time. Number one, the societal-wide statement that, yes, what you do, even when you do it privately, affects other people. Let's just say for a moment, for argument's sake, that that Lindsay Clancy killed those children in the privacy of her home. And let's just pretend that she lived at the Downton Abbey estate. And that they never reported it to the cops. The husband came home and was horrified, saw what she had done, and then they just decided that they were going to keep the matter between themselves. He was going to lock her in a room and not let her out. but they just buried the children, and the public did not know. So now you're dealing with a scenario where the public has technically not been harmed. Now, 3 children are dead. 3 mortal sins have been committed. As the husband goes along with it, now he's a party to it, so 4 mortal sins have now been committed. And the only admission that there ever will be is if they both confess to a Catholic priest. This, to me, is a scenario that could have happened and may have happened in the past when people lived on large estates. So it is conceivable that it happened before. But this is a rarity. Okay, this is not the way that this would be, that you would find out about this or that this would happen previously. It is a possibility, but it's not necessarily scandalizing the public. It's contained, if you will. Now, it's still an outrage and an abomination, and there's 3 murders. But the public doesn't know about it. Okay, that's scenario 1. Scenario 2 is the one that we have. But the public does find out about it. It is your duty as a citizen in a society in which this atrocity was committed to condemn the act. This isn't an option. Yeah, but they wouldn't believe that Patrick did it. Well, you may want to believe in unicorns too. Doesn't make them real. You have to condemn the act. To not condemn the act is to leave open the possibility that it can happen again because at some level it has been made normal. You have normalized it. That cannot ever be the answer when you're talking about murder. Okay? Everyone has to understand this. Think about what Lindsay Clancy also did. She Google searched strangulation. She knew exactly. She Google searched. Play Nancy Grace. Maggie? Nancy Grace was in the courtroom every day, or was watching it. So Nancy Grace has a pretty good recap of just how lucid this witch was, and that she absolutely knew what she was doing, and but she did it anyway.
I do believe the state has proven their case, not just beyond a reasonable doubt, but beyond a shadow of a doubt. This prosecutor, Sprague, laid out in excruciating detail in the opening statement exactly the plan to kill her children, and it started around 4 p.m. that afternoon when she began searching online for Miralax, even calling a CVS to make sure that they had it so her husband would go there and get it and not disturb her. She went on Apple Maps and made sure of the time it would take him to go get pickup. And then as he was leaving, she goes, "Oh yeah, by the way, can you pick up Miralax?" She had been planning it online for over an hour and then acted like it was an afterthought. She had to, under the timeline, stand over Cora, Dawson, Callan's bodies, their limp bodies, for 1 to 2 minutes as she strangled each one after an hour and a half of planning. That morning, she went to a doctor, a pediatrician, Cora's pediatrician, and was perfectly normal.
Also, it was revealed in a courtroom this week that the baby was alive when the EMTs got there, and that the baby had actually survived, and it was admitted into the pediatric ward, and they were trying to save the kid's life, but the trauma to his brain was so profound that ultimately his brain burst through his skull. That's what killed him. And there was nothing that they could do to relieve that. So this is the same thing that I say about homosexuality, especially between men, And when I say, okay, well, let me describe the teenagers that are getting it on, the boys, the two boys down the street. Let me describe it to one of the dads and see if the dad's still going to go along with it. And in every instance, people say, hey, KingDude, I had to click off. Oh, KingDude, it's gross. Oh, it's just got to. Yes, exactly. Stop letting them get away with making it seem like it's unicorns and rainbows and gumdrops. It's not. Murder by strangulation is horrific. And then you have these lunatics, these women. And again, I think that this is Robert Nisbet's point is being proven here. The book, The Quest for Community, is being proven right here in real time by the lunatic women for Lindsay Clancy. Everyone is in search of community, and they're not getting it on the Tinder app. They're not getting it on Instagram. They're not getting it through any app. They're not getting it by swiping right. They're not getting it by hanging out in whatever online community you're thinking. And look, I'm not, because we have online communities, so I'm not castigating or convicting all online communities of being bad. They have a use, a role to play. But it doesn't replace the family. So, and then there is a discussion with Dr. Phil and Julia Michaels about postpartum distress. The syndrome. It actually is a syndrome. It actually is real. It really does happen. Women do really suffer it. And like Dr. Phil says, he goes, in my practice, and when you have to treat it, you know it when it happened. What does he say? Postpartum psychosis is a psychiatric emergency. When it happens it is misdiagnosed often. I cover many stories in my decades over the year. They're not the same. Psychosis is a full break from reality. Lindsay Clancy did not have a full break from reality. She knew exactly what she was doing. She knew exactly what she did. And her attempt to kill herself, her fake attempt. And again, like most suicides that are not successful, there's a very funny Larry David episode of, what was that show called? The one that he was in, HBO, where he meets a Japanese kamikaze pilot in his father's retirement home. And he goes, wait a minute, you can't be you could not have been a kamikaze pilot. Kamikaze pilot, by definition, commits Harry Carey suicide. You know, he goes, so you're a fake comic. The whole episode is about him making the Japanese guy admit that he was a fake, that he wasn't a kamikaze pilot, he was just a pilot, and stop calling himself a kamikaze pilot because he failed. And Lindsay Clancy's attempts to kill herself, all three failed. So she was not trying to commit suicide. She was trying to harm herself. And it may even been that she tried to harm herself as part of her planning and the premeditation of all this. All right, 844-527-8723, 844-5-CRUSADE. Looks like we're stuck at where we were last segment here, which is at, you're still going to need $1,800 or $1,724 to meet the August crowdfunding. The day you're still here, the day's not over yet. August is not over. They're actually, this is the last chance on air to make an appeal. At crusadechannel.com/join, or on YouTube, you could kick in $10 or $100 or $1,000. Click the cash button on YouTube. Did you meet your super chat? No. Think you needed to get 10. Well, you got about 8. I got 6. You had the largest YouTube listening audience that you've had since Inauguration Day on YouTube, and 6 Only 6 people, and 3 of them we know personally.
I'm just brushing up my resume.
So Maggie says, yeah, we had a good run here on the Mike Church Show on the Crusade channel. It was a good run. Gave it the old college try. 11 years is quite a streak. She's brushing up on her resume. You're going to put that you did 6 producer jobs on?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right.
Put that on a good multitasker.
CrusadeChannel.com/donate. Obviously, the YouTube you're watching right now. All you got to do is tap that dollar symbol right there. Hit the thumbs up. Ring the bell, like they always say on their YouTube videos. Magdalene Rose, does the MAGA Nation feel much better today now, knowing that we are home to Lake America and not Lake Ontario?
I honestly don't think it matters. Like, I saw it and I thought to myself, well, that's nice, I guess. I mean, good for us. There's just so many other problems. When Trump does things like this, it's kind of lost its novelty. Like, Gulf of America was fun. This isn't necessarily fun.
No, I think this is stupid.
Yeah.
And I think most people look at it going, he did what? Oh, come on, man. That's just dumb. It's also an insult to people that campaign for him to make America great again. You're supposed to take this stuff seriously, and you're supposed to be working at making my life better, not yours. And then on the same day that he does that, he puts his own presidential ordering the presidents by greatest, great, average, and below average, and puts himself at the top of the pyramid. He left.
That was a weird graphic.
We left Ronald Reagan off of it.
I know. And I was looking at it and I was studying it and I thought, where's Reagan? Like, what is this? And it was kind of like just a list of his enemies and then all the older presidents. Like, where is Reagan? So Reagan is not even average in Donald Trump's mind? Because what that message really communicates is that Reagan is so far below average, he doesn't rank being on the chart. Like, who signed off on that? Who thought that was a good idea?
I don't know who thought that was a good idea. Apparently, Caroline Leavitt thinks everything that he does is a good idea.
So, yes, well, I think maybe it was Printer Girl. Maybe Printer Girl thought this was a good idea. Do you know what his nickname for her is? Like the one he says privately?
Wait. Is Printer Girl Lisa Harp?
Natalie Harp.
Natalie Harp. Now, is that who Printer Girl is?
Yes.
Now I'm thinking of the movie Boogie Nights and Roller Girl. I mean, hey. So he has someone in the White House known as Printer Girl.
He calls her his conveyor belt because she gets him everything he needs. I don't love that.
If I was Melania, I would not be happy about this characterization. Would you?
No. Of course you wouldn't. Because it's ridiculous. But Melania, I mean, I don't even know if we have a first lady. I mean, you can't use Barron as the excuse. If he's like 19, he's in college, I don't want to hear anymore how she's such a devoted mother. Look, I'm sure she is. That doesn't mean she couldn't pop in for a lunch with a world leader once a week. I do not want to hear it anymore. She just doesn't care. In some ways, it must be freeing for her to no longer care.
Well, we still don't know what was meant by the press conference about, I never had a relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. I never was photographed other than at public events where I was an attendee with Jeffrey Epstein. We still don't know why she did that.
And we never will. We never will. And this is the truth of it. Like, Melania, I understand, Eastern European, kind of cold, aloof. Totally get it, totally respect it. But there is a woman that the public is referring to as Printer Girl, who is with your husband all the time. And I get that, like, she's very cold and she's very sure of herself. Fantastic. She is with him all the time. She lives in the White House. Do people realize this? Not like how Kellyanne used to stay there when there was a crisis or, like, during big times. That was normal. Printer Girl lives at Mar-a-Lago with him. She never, do you know she doesn't take a weekend? There is no end to her workday because it's a calling. I'm very disturbed by this. I don't understand why this is not a problem for Melania Trump.
Well, I don't understand why it's not. Where's the National Enquirer press corps on this?
I know.
I mean, this is just this is just made for the Weekly World News and the National Enquirer.
I know. I'm very disappointed in the Daily Mail. Very disappointed.
Yes.
This is what we count on the Daily Mail for, to do this type of reporting. And I get that Harry and Meghan are back in the UK, and there's a big thing. You got to cover that. I dislike them to the ends of the earth. But there is a woman being referred to as Printer Girl who lives with Donald Trump constantly, who chases after his motorcade. I thought that was a joke. It wasn't. I went and saw the photos when they were she was chasing after his motorcade because she had forgotten to get in the golf cart. She stows away in trunks.
She did.
I mean, at midnight.
Wait a minute. She chases after his what?
His Oh, you don't know about this. So she missed his golf cart motorcade when they were in Scotland.
Okay.
By a few minutes because she was doing something. So her answer to this was to jog the mile, she's very fit, to get to him. And then he stopped and let her into the golf cart. Like, what is happening? Well, and then she missed his actual motorcade leaving the White House one day at night. Do you know what she did? She stowed away in one of the trunks of the SUV. Two problems with this. It's crazy. Second of all, are you telling me that's possible? The Secret Service is letting that happen?
This sounds to me like some sort of an obsession.
Have you read her letters to him?
No, I don't know. How do they get published? How do we have letters from this woman?
Well, the Daily Beast is apparently doing what the Daily Mail should be doing. And the Daily Beast got a copy of the letter. And I have to tell you, what I'm even more weirded out by is it's not romantic. Like, it's some other category that I can't quite place. And I saw one leftist say, you know, hats off to Printer Girl. Like, for all the Trump sycophants, for all the diehards, she takes the cake. She's done it. She's accomplished it. Laura Loomer's jealous of her. Think about that. Laura Loomer is jealous of Natalie Hark.
Well,
because Natalie Hark has more access. I think that should really cause unease in all of us.
Well, can I tell you that there was a issue that there was a time, or I had an issue with. There was, here's what happened. Trump publicized that he was going to take the day and he was going to spend it with Laura Loomer. You remember this?
I do.
And, she made a big deal about it. Oh, tomorrow's a big day. I'm going to spend the whole day with President Trump. And I went like, okay, that's just whack. There's something wrong. There's something weird about that. What in the wide world of sports is going on here? I still don't have an answer. But he spent the day with her. He took her golfing. She rode with him in the golf cart. What would you talk with someone about for 18 holes?
I don't know. It's very, very unsettling. And I'm weirded out by the fact that it's not like a romance thing. Like, it would make more sense to me if that's what it is. I think we've entered into an era where just being obsessed with him is like all that matters to him. And I guess Melania, having a brain, is apparently not obsessed with him enough in this state. I just don't understand the leaders of this administration. Like, we delivered them a chance to rewrite American history. He had a mandate. Like, people say they had a mandate. He had a mandate.
A mandate.
And Printer Girl walks around with him. You know that she vets people for him? How is that possible? What are her credentials for that? Who is she? Why is there not a Washington Post, examination of Natalie Hark? Where is that? Are they all just lazy now?
Now, wait a minute. What's a mandate? I missed this one. What's a...
When he got elected.
Okay, a man...
like Doge, all of that. Like, because he was almost shot and because, Biden turned the country into a nightmare. So, I felt like Trump had a mandate for radical change that he's just abandoned.
This is just getting weird now. And then to see Stephen Miller standing over there as he's signing his document, I'm going like, did you tell him not to do this? You're supposed to be chief White House strategist. Did you tell him how stupid this was going to look and how ridiculous and not serious this makes you? I don't... And then to come out hours later with the graph where he's the greatest president ever, and then to make three communists, Wilson, Lincoln, and Roosevelt as the greatest ever. I'm going like, no, you got it all. You have it exactly backwards.
I know. I don't know what happened here. As you know, I blame his wife's podcast. I feel that after he got involved in that, he stopped caring about anything.
Look, there he is right there, Maggie. Look, he's just standing there. He's watching him. He hands him the executive order binder. And I guess when you're in that position, okay.
To sign first an executive order using the new ruling the Supreme Court issued to expand the definitions of people who are ineligible for birthright citizenship. That includes, for example, alien enemies of the United States, members of foreign terrorist organizations, and large categories of people who lobby and act on behalf of foreign governments.
Okay, so that one I agree with. I'm glad he was there to do that. And you know what? There has been some action. They didn't just take that SCOTUS decision lying down. They actually have done a couple of things. You go like, no, you ain't coming. I think you ought to have to declare now. And you know what? You can make the rules on visas. If you're pregnant and you're coming from a foreign land, you got to declare it. You have to declare that you are traveling to the United States and that you're pregnant, because you may get turned away at customs. They may tell you, but we're not going to admit you. I think that is a sensible policy, and that's how you're going to stop the Chi-Coms from just boarding planes, coming over here and popping kids out, claiming citizenship, and then going back to China to raise them as Manchurian candidates to come back when they're 18 to go to Harvard and become American citizens who are spies. I mean, this Supreme Court ruling to me is... People like to say that the worst, most ridiculous, and heinous Supreme Court ruling in the history of all histories is the Dred Scott decision. Well, I'm sorry, and I told Kevin Gutzman this one time. He goes, Mike, if you want to say that, just be prepared for what people are going to say about you. And he said, legally speaking, I don't disagree with you, but I'm not going to reach the same conclusion for other reasons. What Justice Taney did, Taney, by the way, thanks to Katrina DeRemy in the YouTube chat. Wow. Woohoo. Okay, so now you have 7, Maggie?
Yep.
7 for a very, very, very nice donation. Thank you, Katrina. The Dred Scott, I'm going to tell you people something that no one is supposed to tell you. Magdalene, here comes your reel right here. You want a 500,000 views? Reel this. I'm going to tell you something that no one is allowed to tell you in these United States in 2026, and that's this. Justice Taney reached the decision in Dred Scott correctly. That's right, I said it. He was correct in determining that Dred Scott was 3/5 of a person. Do you know why? Because that's what the Constitution at the time said that person was. Now, how do we know that Mike Church is correct and all of you people out there are whacked out of your head and are historical ignoramuses? Here's how we know. Read it and weep, baby. Let me reach for it. Right there. Amendment number 13. What does it say? Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude except as punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. How do we know Mike Church is correct and that Justice Taney was correct? The 14th Amendment. What does it say? It says that the children that are born of slaves basically are citizens of the state that they reside in. Amendment 13 and Amendment 14 are smackdowns of Justice Taney because he was correct at the time. Put that in your little left-heart historical ignoramus pipe and smoke on it. So, you're not supposed to say what I just said, but I just said it. Okay, fantastic. Why did the Supreme Court say what they said? I think that the notorious ACB just want woman. I think she just went woman for the day. She went emotional, and she dragged the fag hag, John Roberts, along with her, or he dragged her along with him, and those two provided the votes for the decision. This is ultimately, just like Roe, is going to be corrected by a future court decision of serious justices. So this birthright citizenship nonsense is finally going to get corrected. Maybe we should actually thank the justices for getting it so wrong, because it's going to now necessitate another court case to get it right. Kind of like Roe was so bad that you had to have another case come along at some point in time to correct the error that is Roe. So give Trump credit. We say that when he's right, he does something right. I'm going to give him credit. Give him credit for saying to the Supreme Court and to the rest of the leftardia, sorry, you're not going to birthright citizenship out of existence. We're not going to let you do it to the country. So in that instance, we agree.
Yeah. And there are wins, but there are wins. I think the Trump administration wins kind of on the things that the influencers don't have a role in. Fighting back against Supreme Court battles, trying to change tax laws, like those types of things. If you can keep the corruption of the influencers away, I think you have more success. Did you see the report that Susie Wiles invited 20 of them to the White House yesterday?
Invited 20 who?
20 of the top MAGA influencers to the White House yesterday.
Oh, no. Oh, good Lord. You're basically telling the world that they're coming in to get their marching orders.
Yeah, well, that's what it was. I mean, I think it was very clear. And it was like, there was one of them is a black gay male conservative who was like,
no such
so
thing.
Happy he was invited, and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, who is the audience for this? Like, who? Because it's not the black community. We all know it's not the black community. Maybe there's just like a black influencer. I could see that. So it's a black male gay influencer. Who does this help? Who is this talking to? Well, and if you say that, people are like, well, you're a bigot. I'm like, no, I just don't understand what voting bloc this is appealing to. Maybe if it was just a black man talking about like Trump and the economy, I could see that. And he's standing there, he's like dancing around, and he's got his like official White House swag. And I'm just thinking to myself, so you were given time with the president to talk, and you are seen as an important voice. But there are dozens of other people who have been excluded for years. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
That's just stupid. And there's no such thing as a black homosexual conservative. By definition, conserving thing requires you to be a naturalist and a hetero. This isn't surprising, is it? Here's a stat that I just saw this morning. 2 presidents in the modern era have lost both the House and the Senate in a midterm election. Can you name them?
No.
Okay. Truman, 1946. Bush, 2006. Why did Bush lose 2006? The Iraq War.
Yeah.
The Iraq War was so unpopular that even the ridiculousness of the Democrats could take advantage of it. This is what gave Nancy Pelosi the speaker's gavel, is the Iraq War, basically. Trump's war in Iran is as wildly unpopular now, and it gets more unpopular by the day. He is down 11 points on the Iran war in the last 30 days. Minus 11 in 1 month. Look, I don't think if you put Satan himself in charge of the White House and he started killing people, I don't think Satan would have lower approval ratings. So is this ultimately going to drag Republicans to the bottom of the Gulf of America or the Lake America? I don't know, because I think that the Democrats are equally as stupid and disorganized. And if they don't get dragged down, then it will just simply be because people just don't care. This may be like you're not going to convince me that I need the turnout election. I don't think that the turnout thing is going to work. And I think that these people have pissed off so many rank and file middle class Americans. Look, I think that they're finally getting the message on the flock cameras. Finally! One of them is like, oh, yeah, we need to come out against, like, flock cameras and stuff, too. You think? I mean, this is low-hanging fruit.
It is. And I think it's interesting that DeSantis is against the flock cameras and the MAGA world isn't. And increasingly, it feels like DeSantis runs his own, like, little conservative, like, royal court in Florida. And it's more where the serious people, like, I know that young conservatives, no matter where they are in the country, were fighting over getting an internship in that governor's office, over everything. And you know what they said? All of them. I just don't think, like, weird stuff is going to go down there. I just don't feel like it's, like, a weird place to work. I think there's probably not a lot of cheating of people. Like, I just don't think it's weird. And this is the problem I have with the Trump world. We, as Republicans and conservatives, we are supposed to be held to a higher standard. Not that every, like, marriage is perfect or whatnot, but we're supposed to, like, try. We're not supposed to have printer girls around. We're supposed to try to show ourselves as, like, virtuous people. That's the main part of the Republican Party. It's what royalty should do as well. Try to, like, be a good version. Try to have conservative things, traditional things. And the Trump world has become so strange and convoluted that
weird.
If Ron DeSantis runs for president and does it in the right way and tells his wife to not be annoying, which she is capable of it, I think Ron DeSantis could have a shot at this because he will be against flock cameras, he'll be against AI data centers, he'll be against foreign wars, but he won't be, like, annoying in terms of we can't even talk about the rest of the world. I think he could slap J.D. Vance down, and he could make J.D. Vance have a real run for his money. As much as I like Marco Rubio, we need a Ron DeSantis to punch J.D. Vance down, especially on AI.
To that end, did you see Jack Posobiec getting ratioed yesterday because he came with a silly little meme on X in favor of flock cameras?
Yeah.
Again,
well, yes.
This is not a conservative position, Jack.
No, it's not. It's not. But this is this mindset, this technocratic mindset spoken about before, that him and J.D. Vance and Vivek, who is going to lose the governorship of Ohio, based on all polling across the board.
I don't care.
And I know, I don't either. I'm disgusted by him. I cannot believe that this was allowed to happen. So this technocratic mindset is not virtuous. It's not good. It's built on the idea that we have to have more surveillance for safety. I think the rebuke and hatred of the Patriot Act is proof that is not true. And even the most ardent Bush supporters would accept that. So Ron DeSantis, he comes out against flock cameras. And I think it's interesting that we've seen now that the MAGA grifting influencer campaign and people, they work for Vance. They lie about it, but they are on Team Vance. Why are they all his supporters? This man of no accomplishment. Why are they all his supporters? Because he will greenlight these things, and people like Ron DeSantis won't.
Well, Magdalene Rose, our political affairs contributor, okay, how much did they pay Posobiec to come out for the flock camera?
Yeah.
Because this is
exactly.
That is absolute one. More than anything else, we'll show you. Okay, you scratch that guy off of your he's not in the tank list. He's absolutely in the tank. And the idea here, or just the proposition that somehow that in order to be safe that you need more surveillance. Are you saying prior to the race wars and the riots of the 1960s that led to a lot of what we have here today? Are you saying that they were not safer in the United States during prior to that age? Because, you know, it was funny back, and I think these AI-generated films are hysterical, but it's true. When I was a little children's, and I'm a lot older than you, Magdalene, but when I was a little children's, I knew to come home because the streetlights came on. But my phone didn't go off. I didn't have one. The street light was my phone. We all knew when that street light came on, oh, we're all in big trouble now. Some kids had to go home earlier. You'd hear their mom screaming out the door, Michael, where are you? Come, it's time for dinner. Come in and wash up. I mean, you'd hear this. Somehow now the United States, the vaunted United States, needs to be 24-hour a day, 7-day a week surveilled. Maggie, who was the chick yesterday on X? Savannah Savannah Hernandez. She had a great little post about a small town that the citizens went to a meeting and they got the intel from Flock. And they went like, have you seen who the Flock company is selling our data to, sir? And only like 2% of the data that the Flock camera was collecting was going to law enforcement. 98% was being sold, was being repackaged and resold. So I think that the revolt out there is real, and I think that it's. I don't think that it's going to go away anytime soon. And I'll tell you something else. The stupid party had better get its war act together, because people have about had it with this war. Today marks 6 months. 6 months. Supposed to be 3 or 4 weeks. 6 months. And you still have a White House that is treating it as though it's only been 6 days. We're going to get it done. The Strait of Hormuz is open. By the way, I won so many of those counties in that state. Won't believe Riley Gaines is a bad choice. She comes in 5th. I watched this press conference just because I hadn't seen one in a while. I keep thinking, I'm like, no, I'm watching the Truman Show. This isn't real. This is a Saturday Night Live bit. It has gotten that bad. All right, Magdalene, thank you very much. By the way, if you add up all those real videos in the last 10 days, you're going to get 720,000 total views.
Yay!
720,000 total views.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
that's great. People like the Mike Church Show. Do you know, Ramon? I have a quick statement about that fits into this, if you don't mind.
Yes, please.
So I was speaking with a young conservative in booking recently, and I was like, yeah, we're having some success on social media. And she was like, that's great. And she said, do you know what half of my day is now? And I was like, what? And she's like, well, apparently everyone wants to get on Bannon's War Room, but then I have to explain to people that he's some type of Epstein peddler, and then they go, oh, I don't want to do that instead. So we might have some new guests coming on as well.
Half of my day is when they get on Epstein's on Bannon's War Room, and I don't understand the War Room appeal myself. Posobiec is part of this War Room cabal.
Oh, yeah.
Bannon he was in with Epstein. I mean, the conclusion is the man was in with Epstein. You could say it was just short sighted. Look, I don't care. No leftard, whatever. You would never give a leftard a pass on that. You just wouldn't. Why does he get one?
I don't know.
We're surrounded by stupid people who are in positions that they shouldn't be in, doing things that they shouldn't be doing. We have Roller Girl running around the White House, and the Daily Mail hasn't even reported on it. You know, there's a parody song in there, Roller Girl, Printer Girl. It's going to come to me. All right, Magdalene, thank you very much. We'll see you Monday.
Thank you.
This will kind of be a Free Farm Friday closer of the show. Play that clip that I just sent you from RFK Jr. about cooking together. This, I think, sums up what we all ought to do today and tomorrow and Sunday and every day. I said it in Signal, didn't I?
You mean okay, you have to click the YouTube. It's a YouTube. It's a short.
No, it's not. Did I send it to somebody else?
You sent it to me, but it's in YouTube and it's a short.
It's in x.com. I can see it right here. It's not YouTube.
When you click and go to X, it gives you a hyperlink for a YouTube short.
Oh, this. Okay, my bad. My bad. Well, then don't play it. Forget it.
Because I can't make it big.
Yeah, no, it's stupid. Again, we're dealing. People are going to wonder in 100 years from now, why did you guys turn your cameras the wrong way? Your camera's supposed to go this way. Why did you guys, for 10 years, turn your cameras this way? I don't see in portrait. I see in my. Why do you think they call it a field of vision. Why is it called a field of vision? Because it's widescreen. It's not narrow screen. It's not portrait. It's widescreen. So they're going to go like, why were they turning their cameras to the wrong orientation? It doesn't make any sense. Okay. All right, folks, we got to go. It's been a great week. We need a serious, they're going to get a bailout, I think, a serious bailout today at crusadechannel.com/donate. Look, I sent 3 emails out and got
0.0.
I don't know what the utility is at this point of sending email appeals. I might do it again. I don't know. But you got a little spare change. You could help us get to our August number, crusadechannel.com/donate. The anthology collection is coming along very, very, very well. It has been a great, I'm so glad that I did this. As a matter of fact, I think that it actually is going to be popular because it tells a very analog tale and a very digital world. It tells a very good, I think, well-told, exciting tale in a very digital world. And I think people are going to like it. I think they're going to enjoy reading it. And since I have been clicking around on the songs, there's 68 of them, I've been clicking around on the songs. Maggie, you hear me in here going like, what are you laughing at? I'm like, I'm laughing at an anthology, Mike Church Show band parody song. It's hysterical. So I'm going to have big news for you on Monday's show, all about that. But we got to get to Monday. So crusadechannel.com/join. Shop in the store with us today. Shop.mikechurch.com. Today is, of course, the feast of St. Augustine, my patron saint, my confirmation saint. Oh, St. Augustine, pray for all of us. We need city of God, city of man, wisdom, St. Augustine. Please help us. Have a safe and blessed remainder of the day. Big news breaks out today. We will break in. Thanks for joining us this week. You have a choice to make, and when viewing and listening, you chose us. We appreciate that. We're honored by that. God bless you all, and Mary keep you.